let's welcome tonight's guests, the St. Mary's Dragons. Also, just a reminder that our play clocks are not working tonight, so the delay game will have to go old school and be kept on the field. Sorry for the inconvenience. Let's welcome your Lutheran High School Cougars! Good evening, football fans. Welcome to Lutheran High School St. Charles. Tonight's game between the Class 3 defending state champion Dragons from St. Mary's High School and your Class 2 defending state championship Lutheran Cougars. As members of the Missouri State High School Activities Association, this is a reminder that good sportsmanship is a high school tradition. These teams know and accept the responsibility of being leaders in sportsmanship in their schools. We welcome everyone to Lutheran High and wish both teams good luck at tonight's game. At this time, would everyone please rise, remove your hats for prayer, and remain standing for the playing of our national anthem. We pray. Lord God, Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to compete this evening. We thank you for the abilities you have blessed these student athletes with and given them the spirit of competition to play this game of football. Please bless the coaches and officials with wisdom in their handling of the players. Keep everyone safe from injury and allow fans to demonstrate good sportsmanship so this day may glorify you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. As the captains meet in midfield for the coin toss, we'd like to introduce and welcome tonight's officials. Referee, Mr. Chris T. Umpire, Frank Williams. Linesman, Andre Keller. Line judge, Clark Frazier. And back judge, Marlon.
Good evening, America. We're sorry for a little bit of technical difficulties, but thank you very much for being patient here as we join the plays live in the very first play from scrimmage. Mr. Gerdine throws an interception. So, after I think we're going to see start from their own 38-yard line.
Kind of an inauspicious start for both sides here. You know, the Cougars come out and try a deep pass and is intercepted. And now here you have a timeout after a change of possession, which is typically you don't see that in any level, let alone high school.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting, Doug, as you look at this. Timeout on the very first play. I guess it gives the defense a chance to regroup, huh?
Yeah, you know, and I don't think the Cougars defense expected to come out right now and be on defense. They thought, hey, our offense is going to put together some drives like they have the last couple of games here at home. Unfortunately, that first pass gets picked, and all of a sudden the defense is back on the field.
And the Cougars line up on defense here. They have a big, formidable front defensive line. But I tell you, when we were watching warm-ups a little bit ago, Doug, St. Mary's has a big, big team. And fast at the same time. They take the handoff to the outside and pick up 15 yards, almost 17 yards on the first carry from scrimmage. Jamal Roberts on the carry.
Boy, great job by their right side of their offensive line to open up that hole. You know, they went to that three-back set and just said, hey, we're going to smash it right down your throat, Cougars. So Cougars will have to come up with some different stunts and pieces like that to throw that running game off balance.
Absolutely. Michael Parr Jr. was in on the tackle, and once again you have Jamal Roberts. He doesn't get anywhere except to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, much better job there by the Cougar defense. See, what you had there is you had him running east-west, not north-south, whereas the first play of the game ripped off 17 yards. You wonder if the Dragons are going to go back to that this game.
I think they definitely will go back to that. The play was very successful the first time they ran it. They will definitely go back to that after they read the defense after several plays. Here's St. Mary's. Nice little lefty quarterback. Wow, what a great hit by Cyril Holliday. There was no fooling him.
You know, CJ was walking up and down the hallways to school, just kind of like going to his classes here at our block schedule. And about middle of period 2, he says, hey, I cannot wait to hit somebody tonight. So he just came out there and unloaded on that wide screen, Brian.
Once again, the St. Mary's Dragons are actually in the no-huddle offense. They have trips to the far side. They have a single wide receiver with one single back in the backfield. Nice little snap, and the quarterback is running around. We got a flag on the play, and oh, it looked like the Cougars almost looks like the preliminary call is going to be holding against St. Mary's.
Yeah, you know, you had a hold there on number 75, Dawson Talon. He had some great pressure from the left defensive tackle spot. So now you got to wonder here, are the Cougars going to decline this and force a fourth down, or are they going to push him back? Looks like they're going to go with a fourth down, going to be declined, and the Dragons are going to be punting.
So number 13 for the Dragons is Zamir Collins. He's going to be punting the ball back to the Cougars, and we have number 6 back, Michael Parr Jr. He had a nice return on the opening kickoff, went about 25 yards or so. And we will see what this play ends up doing right here. And the punt is up. Side over side, and wisely lets the ball go into the end zone.
That was a great job there by Michael Parr to not pick that up. I think he wanted to, because his first return he was able to rip off about 35 yards right up the middle on the kick return. But nevertheless, good decision there. Cougars have the ball on the 20. You know, Brian, it's interesting. After that first play, that interception from Gerdine, now you have the Cougars going back on offense here. You got to wonder if Coach Harris is going to say, hey, let's pound the ball with our running game, or he's going to keep going to the air.
Yeah, after one play, you can tell we have our work cut out for us, Doug, as we have a nice little play off to the outside, almost to the 40 of the St. Mary's, and they just went up and grabbed the ball down on that first interception. And now Gerdine back. He's surveying the field, and the snap comes up and gives it right off to Harris. Wow, I tell you, Aiden had a nice hold. He just cut it out to the outside, and he ended up getting the first down with 10 yards. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars from the 30-yard line.
Had a nice cross block by the left guard and left tackle there, so Big John came down and smashed that defensive tackle, and that's not an easy thing. That D tackle out there is about 280 for the Dragons, Brian.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle of the trenches tonight, would be my guess. New formation here for the Cougars. As Gerdine looks to the outside, he gets a nice little throw into the flat, and we pick up about 7 or 8 yards as Alan Mitchell makes a nice little catch and run.
Well, and that was one thing that Coach Harris was talking about, is he said, hey, a guy like Alan Mitchell has all the speed in the world. We've got to get the ball in his hands in space. So exactly what you had there in that bunch formation. Gerdine just rolled, short roll out to the right side and found Alan Mitchell wide open for a quick 7-yard gain.
We'll take 7 yards. It's 2nd and 3 right now for the Cougars. Gerdine takes a snap, hands it off to Aiden Harris, and he gets hit right at the line, and he's gained about a yard.
Aiden Harris, the ball carrier.
Yeah, another good job by the right side of the line there, Brian. Opened up a little hole, but you had there the safety really came down hard for the Dragons in order to keep that to a 1-yard gain. Cougars continue to have some substitutions up front. I like how Coach Harris is flipping between the formations he has here so far early in the game.
Yeah, I would agree, Doug. And we have Gerdine takes a snap, hands it off to Mitchell, who's running hard, and he gets a first down.
Well, we think that's going to be a first down. Looks like they're giving him the first down. Great job, great run by Allen up the middle.
Hey, you got to love it. You know, Doug, if anybody wants to give a shout out up here to the booth, we have 314-497-3014. We love to be able to take some shout outs.
Absolutely. We do have a couple here we're going to get after this next play.
Very good. It's 1st and 10 from the Cougars 40-yard line. Gerdine once in the shotgun. He's looking to the outside. Nice little swing pass to Mitchell, who can't quite get to the corner, but he does gain about a yard.
Well, and that's one of those plays earlier in the season, the first 3 weeks. Allen has the edge, but against St. Mary's, they're going to match his speed for speed, obviously, in order to hold that to just a 2-yard gain. First shout out of the day so far. 2022 Lutheran High grad Megan Hartman, watching from Kansas City. Excited to watch the game. Go Cougars. Thanks for tuning in, Megan.
Well, we love being able to bring this contest to you all the way from St. Peter's to Kansas City. So thank you. Here's a nice long throw to the outside. Just a bit overthrown. Good idea.
Well, it looks like Michael Parr had a step there on number 8 for on Washington. So that's one that Coach Harris is going to go back to, because it looks like Mike has a little bit more speed in that corner on the edge there. Another shout out here. This is CP, state champ, tuning in from Carbondale. Hashtag one heartbeat, hashtag champs for life. Tell you what, it was so nice just getting to know CP here as a student athlete. Everything that he did, just always had a big smile on his face when he's walking up and down the hallways. So love having you tuning in there. He's now in college and joining his life in Carbondale.
Carbondale, got the Salukis. And the Cougars line up. They have 2 in the backfield, single wide receivers, 1 on each side. Snap comes to Gerdine. He throws it across.
Oh.
Big tight end. Just went off of his hands. Demetrius Phillips. He would have been able to gain a few more yards had the catch been made.
Yeah, I think he just quite did not get his head around. snap that back to the right to be able to find that football. I think he might have made a first down there. Dragons had good coverage on him, but nevertheless, tough play for the Cougars. They'll punt it away. But, you know, at the end of the day, they're going to be able to flip field position here. Alan Mitchell has a heck of a leg.
Alan Mitchell does have a heck of a leg, and right now it's kind of the battle between the 30s.
Right?
Oh, he just shanked that one.
He did. You know, that was a rough punt. But, however, last year in this game, Cougars went down to Southside and had the Dragons on their home field and unfortunately punted the ball to a guy who's now playing Division I football, Kevin Coleman, and Kevin Coleman had 3 touchdowns on returns on the day. So I know that was one piece that the Cougars are not going to be punting to these dangerous return men for the Dragons. Once again, going east to west, trying to get that edge. Just gets around right around Cyril Holloway. Jamal Roberts with that carry, and he's able just to get right around the edge. And boy, there you go, east-west there. The last few times they ran that, they've been unable to get the edge. This time they were able to get the edge on the Cougars there. So Cougars are going to have to clamp down on the edge in order to not give up that play on the outside.
Yeah, boy, he planted his foot and just took off around the edge. So the Dragons are 1st and 10 from their 24-yard line. John Roberts was in on the carry. He gets all the way to about the half-yard before he gets tackled hard.
He got run down there. Looks like we have a face mask. Didn't see that face mask on that one. Obviously the officials did because they called it, so that's going to hurt the Cougars here.
So, Doug, tell us a little bit about what you got going on today.
Officials are going to be sorting this one out. We do have a couple more shout-outs we do want to share here. Sending happy birthday shout-outs to St. Mary's Senior number 9, Donovan McIntosh. Happy birthday, nephew. Thank you so much for the shout-out up here in the booth to Donovan McIntosh. Happy birthday. Pause Up, Champs for Life from Clyde at Baker in Kansas. Absolutely.
Wow, we have
Yeah, we got people joining us all the way over. John Roberts with that carry. He goes up the middle, gets about 2 yards on that carry. It'll be 2nd down and 8. Still dealing with some technical difficulties up here. We have a lot of people online tonight, so we're trying to get our signal here. We apologize for the inconvenience, but we're going to be able to keep this game streamed for you and work on catching up our announcers here momentarily. We're going to have 2nd and 8. St. Mary's is driving, looking for the end zone here. Cougars come out, stack in the front, no safety deep. Fade pass to the corner. Oh, yep. Push off is going to get called. And Chase Hendricks did push off on that play, so you're going to have 2nd and about 18 here after this penalty. Once again, a couple of those shout-outs we did have. First of all, if you missed it here earlier, shout out to Donovan McIntosh on his birthday here, number 9, senior for St. Mary's. Also another one here, Big Clyde watching from Baker in Kansas, checking us out. Very good, another state champ here for Lutheran High. Pause Up, Go Cougars from Fort Sill, Oklahoma, from Craig Mack, Jalen's dad. Thank you so much for checking us out again from out in Fort Sill in Oklahoma. Also here, Pause Up, Go Mikey G and the Cougars. Let's slay those Dragons. Love your Atlanta cheer squad, Gigi and Pops. I'll tell you what, I love Gigi and Pops. They're always catching us out and making sure they're tuning in here. So now you're going to have the Dragons getting backed up after that big penalty, the touchdown called back after Chase Hendricks does push off. You're going to have 2nd and about 22 here, almost all the way to the end zone. So nevertheless, Cougars got a lucky break there after the push off from Chase Hendricks. Be Dragons ball, 2nd and 23 as they go in towards the end zone here for the Cougars.
So, Doug, here we go. Second and very, very long. Nice little push off in the end zone, which negates the touchdown, obviously, as Doug was saying. And thank you once again for your patience as we continue to. There's got a wide open guy in the end zone. He's covered, and I think we're going to have defensive pass interference on that one.
Yeah, we also might have looks like we might have a roughing the passer here. That was a real close one there. That's going to hurt the Cougars, but the Dragons are going to pick up a first down, whether it's from the pass interference, Brian, or from this roughing the passer. At the end of the day, I'm okay with that roughing the passer because, he took his one step and just hit and hit him hard. So that's when the Cougars are going to live to play another down and did not give up that touchdown, but it'll be first down Dragons here going into the end zone, Brian.
Yeah, I would agree on that. And, you look at last night when the Kansas City Chiefs and the Chargers were playing each other, Herbert took some serious hits, and he actually had to leave the game for at least one play. As, late in the game, he took a hit, came up a little bit lame with his ribs. But you know what? He battled back, and I think, you start doing this with some of these high school kids, they take a beating. After a while, it takes a toll, Doug.
Oh, it really does, Brian. And at the end of the day, too, pass interference penalty, judgment call. I'm okay with that one. The second one here, when you're just going after the quarterback and you're hitting him hard, that's an okay penalty. It's not an unsportsmanlike conduct. It's just straight up, you're just playing football there. And both sides are going to pick up some of those things. These are two hard-hitting football teams.
They are very talented on both sides. You have two state champions on the same field right now. Last year, St. Mary's Class 3 state champion, and the Cougars last year, Class 2 state champion. And they're battling it out right now. And, boy, nice little cutback. Touchdown for St. Mary's, number 20. Planted.
Yeah, Jamal
takes
Roberts.
it in.
There's the reason, Brian, that he's a Division I athlete. He just took that ball, put his left foot in the ground, and just made a couple of jukes and goes into the end zone there. Cougars did not look prepared on that play defensively. So nice play by the Dragons offensive line to open up that huge hole. And he just punched it in here. They take an early lead here on the Cougars, pending the extra point. Up 6-0 right now with extra point coming.
So we have number 40, Ryan O'Ryan Hill is actually in to do the extra point. Actually, it's number 46. Check that. Schillinger, the ball is up, and it looks like it is good. The Dragons are up over the Cougars, 7-0 with 6:19 left in the first quarter. Doug, you have some sponsorships?
Yeah, let's give a shout out here to our gold sponsor, Signature Orthopedics, and also for our silver sponsors, Athletico Physical Therapy, A&W All-American Food, Car Shield, CertaPro Painters, and Melissa Jones from New American Lending. Also a couple of shout outs here, Brian. Shout out to number 64, Aiden Hicks from Uncle Rob. Absolutely. Thank you, Uncle Rob, for checking us out tonight. Go Cougars, number 19, from your cousin down in Fort Myers, Florida. So we've hit several states now, Brian, that were people tuning in tonight.
Yeah, we had Oklahoma, Illinois, Kansas, Missouri, of course, Florida.
Yeah, absolutely.
Georgia, perhaps. So Robert Schillinger, once again, will be kicking off for the Dragons from their own 40-yard line. We have Michael Parr and Caleb Mays back at the 5-yard line, ready to receive the kickoff here. And the whistle is blown. Schillinger checks his teammates, and here he goes. He's got a good leg on him, Doug.
He really does. Tell you what, let's see if the Cougars can put together another good return here.
Absolutely. Caleb Mays takes it all the way back up to the 28-yard line. That's a nice little return for him. He got pummeled right there and flipped over on his back during the tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cougars from their own 28-yard line.
And he did get hit hard there. Not as good a return as we had on the first time there, but nevertheless, Cougars are going to start decent field position on the 28-yard line. And let's see if we can do something with the ball here. Had a couple of first downs. Our second drive of the game, this now being the third after the first drive ended up in an interception. So let's see what the Cougars can put together here and see if they can reel off a drive and even this game up here, middle of the first quarter.
Yeah, exactly. And Caleb Mays took a hard hit as Gerdine looks over the defense right now, and he's going to put his mouthpiece in. Good idea, young man. Nice snap. He hands the ball off to the short back, which is Aiden Harris. He's still pumping his legs. Boy, he's moving hard. Picks up 7.
Boy, I tell you what, that should have been a tackle there for about a 1-yard gain. And like you said, Brian, he just kept pumping those legs. So great job there by Aiden Harris to just keep his body moving the right direction. He's a special kid to watch. Last year as a sophomore, an all-state player, and now here as a junior returning all-state. You don't see that very many times. You're going to have 2 years with an all-state player. So, phenomenal job.
So it's 2nd and 3 right now for the Cougars. Gerdine is back in the shotgun. Different formation. Nice little quick pass, but wow, what a great defensive play to knock that ball down. Collins, number 13. Boy, he got in there quickly.
He did off that edge position. He just came flying in there, was able to make a nice play on that ball. So I think Allen might have caught that. He might not have gone very far because he had an outside linebacker right on him, but nevertheless could have picked up a couple of yards there. Big third down here, Brian. I know, it's 5.5 minutes left in this first quarter, but this feels like a big play for me. Cougars need a first down here. Need to get this 4 yards and keep this drive going.
Yeah, it's funny you talk about a big play. Sometimes early in the game can turn the tide for many teams, and right now looks like there's a little confusion in the backfield. Actually helped us out as Mitchell turns the corner, gets the first down. Boy, got a flag on the play behind the ball, but wow.
Yeah, boy, it almost seemed like that having a little misdirection there in the backfield. Was that a called play or just a little confusion? But nevertheless, worked for the Cougars. Cougars are going to get a holding penalty here. I didn't see the hold, but again, we're real far away here. I thought they could have thrown a penalty here on a late hit outside here, and I think the Lutheran coaches did want to pick that one up, but nevertheless, that was not the flag. This will be a holding penalty. Cougars are going to be back at 3rd down again. Now it's 3rd and 8 as opposed to 3rd and 4 they just had.
Yeah, it's crazy. He hit that hole, bounced to the outside, got the corner, and he did get pummeled out of bounds. I thought perhaps there'd be a flag on that late hit as well, but no call, so the Cougars come back to the line. It's going to be 3rd down, and looks like about 8 yards, as you were saying just a bit ago, Doug, and we're on the Cougars' 31, almost 32-yard line. Clock's running. It's 5:28 left in the first quarter. Cougars are down 7-0. Gerdine is in the shotgun. You have Mitchell in motion. Shotgun looking across the middle. He throws it hard, but just off the hands of Mr. Michael Parr Jr.
Yeah, Michael Parr, he almost was able to look that one in. I think he might have made a first down there, Brian. He looked like he probably had a couple steps there and was going to be able to tuck it up in there to get another 3 yards. Another shout-out here, a shout-out from Joe Hudson. Joe and Chris Hudson. Parents of 2 former Cougars here and still competing in collegiate athletics here now, cross country and in football here. So definitely great to have Chris and Joe checking us in. Joe took a lot of pictures for the Cougars during his time here when he was watching his son play a little football. So awesome to have him. Look forward to seeing him back on the sideline again sometime soon.
Yeah, absolutely. As Mitchell punts the ball, gets it all the way down to, looks like the 35-yard line. Once again, battle between the 30s or 35s, however you want to say it. But when you have 2 powerhouses going at it together, they just keep going back and forth, and something will give eventually. But, Doug, we have something that we've actually received, and that's called sponsorships.
Yeah, let's hear some of our sponsorships. Thank yous for some of our families who support Lutheran High School. Ricky and Lynn Bertel, Mike and Kelly Van Pamel, Jeff and Amber Kessler, Tim and Heather Mesa, Greg and Nicole Wood, Matt and Sarah Savilli, Art and Nyla Sanderson, Keith and Amy Zumbell, Doug and Julia Ayers, Brian and Cindy Satarski, and Sean and Jennifer Nevins.
Nice. Gotta love it, gotta love it. Thank you to all of our sponsors. Without you, we wouldn't be able to bring this broadcast to you, bring a lot of things to the Lutheran High School community. And it's awesome to be able to be one big family as the Dragons are surveying the field. Got a receiver in motion, and you got one guy stunting. He almost took the handoff in the backfield as Jamal Roberts actually gets to carry for about 4 yards.
Yeah, good play there by the Cougars. Kind of had a little, almost too much penetration there. Able to hold him to just a couple-yard gain there, but that's when the Cougars need to trace that down. So once their pulling lineman goes away, they just got to sit in that hole and wait and haunch themselves down and not chase that play. So that's when the Dragons will come back to, and hopefully the Cougars are going to be able to defend it a little bit better because that play could have been made in the backfield by the Cougars.
I agree, but it was a good read by Leonard as well. It looked like he had a little bit of a read option on that, and he handed it up to the up back, and he turns the wrong way. It may have been a design play, but the quarterback takes it about 4 or 5 yards. It's going to be third down and about 3 yards.
Yeah, we said it was a big play earlier when the Cougars had that 3rd and 4, and they did pick that up, got it called back from a holding penalty. So now here's another big play in this game. Cougars can hold them here. They're going to get the ball back, as we tick down to 4 minutes left in this first quarter here. So let's see if the St. Mary's Dragons decide to go to the air or they're going to run the football.
And Leonard takes the snap. He hands the ball off to the up back, number 20. Wow, he continues to rumble and bumble. He is quite the athlete, is number 20, Roberts.
Yeah, Roberts did take that ball. Looks like they're going to punt here. Looks like Coach Turner has the punt team coming in. Cougars are going to obviously be in punt safe here as you get near the 50-yard line. Definitely going to want to be in punt safe here and make sure this punt does get off. So I think Coach Turner's looking at this saying, hey, I'm playing a high-powered team, and yeah, I'm going to take my chances, and now is not one of the time I want to roll these dice. I'm going to punt this ball away and let my defense go. And frankly, the defense for the Dragons, Brian, has been playing lights out. Hasn't given the Cougars much this whole game. So smart play, smart punt is to punt the ball.
Yeah, I would agree. We got Michael Parr Jr. back, and the punt is very poor, let's just say. It just hit off the side of his foot. He gets about 15, 17 yards on that punt. The Cougars going to be starting better field position than most times tonight. They'll be starting at the 37-yard line for the Cougars. 1st and 10. Doug, how about some shout-outs?
Shout out to Michael Parr from your family in Arizona. Show
Nice.
up and show out. Absolutely, I love Michael Parr. I love seeing those shout outs to Michael Parr. Another one here. Let's go Cougars. Let's go Jamar Tick Cross. Your Uncle Brian and Aunt Christina Cross are watching from Wisconsin. There we go.
Wow.
Another one watching from Wisconsin. Another one here. Pause up, Champions for Life from Phoenix. Pop Troop watching. Trey Troop will be back soon. Absolutely. Do hope that Trey Troop continues to rehab and he's able to get back on the field here very, very soon for these Cougars. Thanks for checking us out from Arizona.
Absolutely. Wow. Number 13 did just that not too long ago. We're trying to get a quick snap and get it out into the flats, but boy, number 13's tall, quick. Zamir Collins knocks the ball down.
He just came right off the edge there, Brian. The rough part about that situation is the Cougars, the offensive line, was set up in pass pro there when they should have been drive blocking. If the ball's going to be thrown that quickly, come off the ball, fire off into these defensive linemen. Don't let them get upfield and disrupt the passing lane. So Cougars are going to need a little bit better offensive line play on those particular quick passes if they want to complete some of those wide screens.
And wisely, they hand the ball out this play from the shotgun, and wow, that's a whole host of Dragons right there. They slayed a few people on that one.
Yeah, they really did. Boy, we talked about slaying the Dragons thing with some of the Cougar fans, and on that play there, the Dragons definitely slayed the Cougars, if that's can be said the other way around. But yeah, Allen looked like he had a little bit of space there. That hole just closed up almost immediately. The linebacking core for the St. Mary's Dragons just shot in there and made a nice read. Saw him coming around from their right side, the offense's left side, and just when he put his foot in the ground, usually Allen has some green grass in front of it. He did not on that play, Brian. That was shut down quickly.
Very quickly as Cougars come back to the line. It's 3rd and 9. This has been a defensive battle. There is no doubt, and there's a whistle on the play, and let's see what happens here.
I think we might have a timeout.
It'd be the water break.
Right now?
Right now, the water break is going to happen with 2:26 left in the first quarter. The Dragons are up 7-0. Doug, we have some more sponsors. Wow, that's awesome.
Boy, more. I'll tell you what, they're just never ending here. We got about 75 families this year that have supported, helping us bring the claw to you here. Some more families. Michael and Lori Albert, Tom and Nancy Spar, Chris and Jill Gerstner, Mike and Kathy Versman, Dr. Dick and Marcia Craven, Karen Milster, Rod and Charlene Salyers, Dave and Kathy Chapin, David and Michelle Reed, Scott and Holly Rodman, and Dustin and Lacey Flassig.
Thank you very much to all of our sponsors. Gerdine from Shotgun, he's looking over the field. Nice little short pass. Just a bit of miscommunication as the ball went right past Michael Parr Jr. Looked like he was running just straight down the field on a fly route. Didn't work.
Yeah, he kind of came off that edge there and kind of put him in a little different slot position, trying to get him the football there, and it looked like he was open. Just so, like you said, a little miscommunication. Cougars offense looks off, Brian. And if you remember the way we started the game out in Denver against Parker Lutheran, that first half, offense was not as crisp as it has been these last couple of games. So I'm sure Coach Harris will have some new wrinkles up his sleeve, and he's going to need it if he's going to we're going to want to move the ball here against these Dragons, Brian.
Yeah, I would agree. He had a bad snap, goes over to the head. Oh, nice play on trying to get the punt off, and takes a nice little Cougar bounce, and it keeps going and going. Boy, that could have been a very, very poor play.
Jeez. That was an athlete just making a football play. Way to go, Alan Mitchell. I mean, that's something that you don't necessarily see, you know, punt, and when you punt the ball, you don't hear a lot of cheers, but my goodness, what a play by Allen to get rid of that ball and then nail a punt. I mean, the punt went 40 yards, but he's only going to get credit for about 20. That was an incredible play.
That was an athletic play is what that was, Doug. There's no doubt about that. So the Dragons are going to take over on their own 41-yard line. I tell you, it's a defensive battle, no doubt. And, you know, you're talking about the slow start, Doug. One thing I have seen from Gerdine, actually, it looks like he's short-arming the ball a lot and just not letting it fly.
Yeah, kind of not stepping into those throws. I think you're right. You know, I think he's got to have trust in his offensive line, especially those quick passes, those wide screens and wide bubbles. They're giving him some time. He just needs, like you said, trust that line and do his job, and he'll get it done. He's been phenomenal this year. He
will. As quarterback's flush from the pocket, he finds an open receiver for about a 9-yard gain, close to the first down. Number 7 actually made the catch, Chase Hendricks.
Well, the Cougars are getting great pressure on these passing plays for the Dragons, Brian, and unfortunately they're just not able to bring that quarterback down. He's been able to move around back there and create some space for himself before delivering some nice throws. And on that last play, giving it to Chase Hendricks. You know, Chase Hendricks absolutely tore the Cougars up last year, and we put so much pressure on ourselves to defend Kevin Coleman, and Chase Hendricks had a heck of a game.
Well, the Dragons are lined up. They have the single back. The snap is up. Handoff to Roberts. He hits the hole to the outside, still going, and we bring about 4 people to take him down. He gets all the way down to the 35, almost 36-yard line. Awesome run by the young man.
Yeah, once again, he's just a load to bring down. He just very, very nice. You know, and last year in this game, you know, the Cougars came in with the Dragons back on September 24th last year, and St. Mary's won this game 54-12. So they obviously kind of had the Cougars number last year.
And just a nice little play right up the middle. Number 1, John Roberts takes it in the one hole and gets about another 6 yards. They're just starting to wear down a little bit, the defensive line, as we have equipment having to be exchanged here. Number 75 for the Cougars running off the field, trying to get his helmet taken care of. And Dawson Talent finally makes it to the sideline.
Yeah, boy, and that's a guy we got to have in the game.
Absolutely. That's the exact same play St. Mary's run as the last play. They get close to the first down, and John Roberts Jr. once again hit the one hole and gained about 3 yards. He's a tall young man, and he just kept running in his legs very hard.
You know, we were talking about that kind of this last year's game, and, you know, last year St. Mary's only rushed the ball for 116 yards and 150 yards passing. So you're less than 300 yards, but they won that game 54-12. And, again, that was based on the fact that we actually punted the ball to one of the best athletes, if not the best athlete in the state of Missouri last year, Kevin Coleman. So it's been a different game so far, Brian.
Absolutely. Handoff once again. Jamal Roberts gets the handoff. He gets stuffed right at the line. It's going to be 4th down at the 30, actually 27-yard line.
Tell you what, and we're going to go to break here, and we're going to hear from some of our sponsors, but my goodness, what a pop there for the Cougars on that defensive play, Brian.
I'd agree. It looked like number 53 was in on that play pretty hard. Cooper Cowden.
Yeah, Cooper just popped right in there. Some of these other sponsors, some of our family sponsors here at Lutheran High: Rich and Barb Keel, Jared and Lisa Connor, Dr. Craig and Tammy Ernstmeyer, Andy and Lynette Caleros, Glenn and Kim Griskoviak, Matt and Tiffany Feldhake, Mike and Katrina Kearns, Mac and Sandy Talent, Nick and Rachel Wiegand, Mike and Melissa Ruse, Randy and Heather Roshek. Tell you what, one of those guys we just read there, Glenn Griskoviak. Glenn's been one of our loyal listeners the last several years with the Claw, and he's actually up here in the booth tonight, and he is enjoying the broadcast live and in person, not from his cabin in Annapolis. So we are great to have him up here. Also joined up in the booth here by Mr. Caleb Guns. Caleb Guns, if those of you that don't know, he's actually a college scout. So he's here scouting tonight and taking a look at some of these players. So thanks, Caleb, for joining us. And obviously you're taking a look at some of these players, and we don't need to know who, but thanks for being here and joining us up in the booth.
I don't know. I kind of like to know who.
We'll find out eventually. He plays it close to the vest, doesn't he?
There's nothing wrong with that. As St. Mary's is coming to the line, it's going to be 4th down and short from the 27-yard line of the Cougars. And they're going to go for it here. Why not? You're in enemy territory, so to speak, and you have some powerhouses and running backs right now. And Leonard gets up under center, and he tries the quarterback sneak, and the whole pile goes past. Looks like they have the first down.
Looks like he just got that first down. Only needed about a yard and a half there, or a yard rather, and looks like he's going to pick that up. Now it'll be first down here for the Dragons going in. Cougars need to make a defensive play here, whether it's a fumble or something, or force a penalty and push them back here in order to only be down one score here, not two scores.
Yeah, Doug, I agree on that. And looks like the Cougars are a little slow on the foot right now. They need to get a little bit more energy.
Yeah, I really do.
Once again, we had Dawson Talon. He's having some equipment issues over here, and he had to come off the field once again. And substitute goes in, running out there hard, number 50, Joseph Roach. Leonard takes the pitch, and boy, we had him in the backfield. He makes the corner. Roberts goes down for about an 8-yard gain. Boy, that play was almost blown up.
That was well, it was blown up. We just missed the tackle, and that's one you're going to want back, because that's the kind of play that Cougars needed in order to not get back in this football game, because they're definitely in it, but nevertheless force a turnover or force a bad play and get their offense back on the field to even this game up.
Yeah, Doug, it's interesting that they ran that play to the left side. They're on the left hash mark as they're trying to drive into the end zone. Be interesting. You haven't seen a pass play in a while, and maybe they're trying to lull the Cougars to sleep here on defense. We shall see. There's a lefty, goes to the outside, actually goes to the far side, trying to skirt the sideline there, picking the laces, and the kicker actually hits the laces and hits an upright after that as Roberts just walks into the end zone. Boy, nice drive for the Dragons.
That was a nice drive. Well, the Cougars are going to get this ball back here, Brian. You know, I mean, it's going to be 13-0 now, potentially 14 with the extra point pending, and the last one was right down the middle and up high, so you expect this one's going to go in too unless Cougars put a little pressure on it. This doesn't feel like a turning point yet, Brian, because 14 points can be made up very, very, very quickly. However, Cougars, I think, need to do something with the ball when they get it back here in a couple minutes.
So the Dragons are lined up for the extra point. Schillinger, ball's up, and it is good. Right now, St. Mary's Dragons 14, Cougars nothing, 10:54 left in the second quarter.
Coming up at halftime here, Brian, we're going to have a pretty fun event. You know, today is not only are we going to have our Sapphires and our cheerleaders perform, we're also going to be celebrating some state championship kids from 15, 16, 17 years ago. So we're going to be celebrating class 2005 through 2007 and the state championships that we did attain. Our 2005 girls basketball state runner-up team, 2005 girls track and field team, the 2004 girls state championship team, and the 2005 state runner-up team. So we're going to have those alumni here join us along with the coaches and be able to celebrate them. We had a lot of success during that middle 2000s period, especially from our women athletics. So it's going to be fun to have an opportunity to see a lot of those alumni and those coaches back here tonight, Brian.
It's always nice to see alumni back on campus. And Doug, are you saying we had some state championships around here?
There's been more than one, you know, let alone last year more than one, right?
That's exactly right. Boy, fun year, no doubt, and it had to be a fun year for St. Mary's Dragons as well, as we stated earlier. Class 3 champions last year. You win a class title, guess what? You get to go to the next class. So now they're Class 4 this year as the ball goes back to Michael Parr Jr. He takes it from the 10, finds the seam. He's got a big seam. He's running hard. He's got one man to beat. The kicker just brings him down. Wow, that was nice.
Boy, Michael Parr in the open field is dangerous. Both he and Caleb. Boy, tell you what, as we're seeing up here, that was a nice play by the kicker. He was getting chased by the St. Mary's Dragons. I don't think they would have caught him, but that kicker just did enough. That might be the spark play the Cougars need here to get their offense, put the ball in the end zone, and cut into this Dragon lead, Brian.
Absolutely. If that doesn't bring energy to you, I don't know what will. That was kind of like a 5-hour energy right there with one little kickoff return. Doug, you like 5-hour energies.
I Yeah, I tend to drink at least one a day, if not two.
What,
so,
before 10 a.m.?
One before 10 a.m. and one around 2 o'clock, just to keep my body going.
Hey, 10, 2, and 4 sounds like Dr. Pepper to me.
Absolutely. Diet Dr. Pepper with them.
Diet Dr. Pepper. See, you're almost too young, Doug, as that play is just blown up in the backfield. Looks like we had a loss of about 1 on the play. It's going to be second and actually a loss of 2, second and 12.
Well, what you had there, Brian, is we're going to need to, Gerdin's going to need to switch up that snap count there because number 32, who just came right off the edge there, just timed that snap count perfectly, was just kind of knowing the Cougars have been going on basically the same snap count this whole game and was able to bring down Aiden Harris in the backfield. And after a great return, Brian, we need to move the ball here and put the ball in the end zone. Cannot waste that great return by Mikey Parr.
Absolutely. Gerdin's from the shotgun. He has Mitchell to his right and Aiden Harris to his left. He is surveying the field.
Between those tackles, just awesome from where he was and whatnot. And I love how he just put that foot in the ground, was able to get some positive yardage there to set up a much more manageable third down. I know it's 3rd and 9, but it's a heck of a lot better than 3rd and 14 that we would have had there with no gain.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, I was saying you're probably too young to know, but Doug, 10, 2, and 4 was Dr. Pepper.
I did not know that, you see.
That was a commercial way back when. And it looks like we have a flag on the play, and somebody called timeout, and we have a coach that's not very happy right now.
Yeah, I think Coach Harris is kind of showing us his frustration here, and there he is, you know. And the reason he is, Brian, is because you have an offense here that's put up a ton of points, has been normally crisp. Even in that Denver Lutheran game, we were playing better than this, and when we were down 16-7 at half, so that's rough. Another shout-out here. We are rooting for you Cougars here in rainy Sebastian, Florida. Go Nicholas Richter. Love Jenna and Grandpa Bob. Also, some more sponsors here. We would just want to read these names and continue to say thank you for the support. David and Shannon Briner, Dale and Lorraine Raum, Shane and Terry Shadrack, Ernie and Susan Pither, Jeremy and Sherry Schneider, Keith and Shireen Yoon, Brad and Amanda Phillips, Matt and Lisa Kuzman, Tom and Jen Cuneo, Greg and Lori Lorenz, and Crystal and Stephen Mullen. Cougars are going to come back out after that timeout here, and they're going to be 3rd and 9. Let's hope that the fire that Coach Harris just had out there on the field translates into something they can get a first down here, continue this drive, and cut into this Dragon lead, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. As Michael Parr Jr. is slotted on the far side, and we have Caleb Mays on the near side. The snap comes, and we got a little misdirection, and ball's on the ground, and looks like St. Mary's is going to get the fumble recovery.
Yeah, boy. Like the misdirection, looked like he had some open play there, but again, the Dragons are just, it's almost like they know where we're going with the football, Brian. Because that holes are just closing immediately.
Well, they're getting through our offensive line very quickly, and I don't know if they're doing swim moves or what, but it isn't the same person. It's a whole line on the defensive side, and they're splitting us, getting into the backfield and disrupting everything, and hence Aiden Harris put the ball on the ground.
Yeah, it's not something you see very much, is Aiden Harris fumbling ever. You never see any of the, you know, or his brother A.J. Harris, when he was an all-state running back for us here, he never put the ball on the ground. I think I remember him fumbling 3 times in 4 years, so that's something you don't see that very often, is either of those Harris brothers. So Cougars defense needs to make a play here. We cannot allow St. Mary's to score in this game to get out of hand. This is what happened last year. Cougars are playing it tight, we're playing it good, then all of a sudden
the opposite way from a right-hander, as you know, and a little bit different to catch. Bad snap, ball goes up, and the ball's on the ground. It's still on the ground. We pick it up. Aiden Harris has one person to beat, and he picks the fumble up, gets all the way down to about the 27-yard line. Wow, that was phenomenal.
Exactly what the Cougars needed at exactly the right time. Dragons were looking for blood there. They were going to put their foot down, put that one in the end zone. Great play by the Cougars defense to come up with a timely fumble. We've got to score on this series, Brian.
Yeah, I would totally agree on that. You know, the bad snap, it just takes one bad play, and that's exactly what happened. And we had Aiden Harris pick the ball up off the fumble, and he had one guy to beat. But the only thing is that he had number 20 to beat.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be a tough task right there. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Jamal Roberts at 6'2", 194-pound senior, and you can tell that young man can play. Gerdin's in the shotgun. He's got 2 running backs, single wide receivers. We got Michael Parr Jr. in motion. He's looking to pass to the end zone. The ball's up. Touchdown, Cougars!
Touchdown!
Caleb Mays with 20.
A play, I'll tell you what, I love how Caleb just tracked that ball. You know, this defensive back for St. Mary's just lost the ball. And that's one of those timing plays. We saw that last week, Brian, against St. Dominic, when St. Dominic defenders could simply not find the football when it was up in the air, and Caleb Mays can. That's the play the Cougars need. Let's hope that propels them here. The defense comes back out and plays a lot better than they have, Brian.
Boy, there's no doubt about that. That was a well-designed play. The ball was thrown to the inside. It looked pretty nice, and boom, we get the touchdown. Charles Blevins with the extra point attempt, falls up and is good. Cougars 7. St. Mary's Dragons 14 with 8:31 left for halftime. Doug, that is exactly what we needed.
Oh, boy, that was a huge play right there at a turning point in this game. St. Mary's scores there and goes up 21-0. All of a sudden, it's a whole different ball game. That's a 14-point swing, that bad snap from the Dragons center there that Aiden Harris was able to corral and move about 30 yards before Michael Gerdine just throws a tremendous fade pattern, and Caleb Mays runs right underneath of it.
Doug, you have some more sponsorships there, buddy?
A couple more of our families, absolutely. Andrea and John Palmer, Susan and Ken Trimble, Nicole and Sean Costello, Kevin and Samantha Guile, Jennifer and Floyd Bell, Scott and Angela Hester, Brian and Amy Fuhrer, Andy and Ellen Barnett, Brady and Megan Cowden, Scott and Christy Cooper, and Carl and Lisa Bulla.
Nice.
Boy, huge play at a perfect time of this game, Brian.
I tell you what, that just gave me God bumps.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely.
That was pretty special. And once again, we have Charles Blevins, and he kicks the ball off, goes right down the middle. Ball's off the hands, bounces at the 20. Guess what? Number 20 has the ball. He's got space, and he makes it all the way up to the 47-yard line of the Cougars. You cannot give Jamal Roberts space.
No, definitely not. He just takes that ball, you know. Going to have better coverage on there, and I'm glad we're glad that he picked that ball up and able to return it. But nevertheless, that little hesitation there might have been the difference between a touchdown on that play, Brian.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a ball bounced off his hands, and it allowed the Cougars to get up, and he turned the jets on and just blew right past them. And once you get behind the defense, or at least the Cougars trying to defend the kick, there's no stopping Jamal Roberts.
Yeah, no, definitely not. He is one. He just puts his head down, and I tell you, he's able to make good cuts. I've been impressed with his vision tonight, Brian.
Most definitely. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Dragons from the 45-yard line. Get a nice little spot there. And we had a quarterback, hands it off to Roberts. He goes to the outside, being patient. He keeps looking, and he gets about 3 or 4 yards on that play. As we had big Dawson Talent takes him down hard.
Yeah, good to have Dawson Talent back into that game. Another shout out here. Hey, let's go. Number 1, Mikey Gerdine and the Mighty Cougars coming all the way from the ATL, Atlanta. Buddy and Mama Rowe, let's go. Absolutely. Nice play by Gerdine there on that last one.
You know, it's funny, not too long ago, Doug, the Cougars looked like they were on their heels quite a bit. Now it looks like the Dragons are a bit on their heels, just being a little slow to the ball, not as crisp as you were saying before, and Cougars look like they have a little bit more confidence. As quarterback goes back, long throw down the sidelines, just overthrows the intended receiver, Chase Hendricks, and certainly looked like David Leonard had an open shot at making that reception, just overthrew him a bit.
Just overthrew him there, absolutely. Brian, we got a fact check here from Jenna and Grandpa Bob down in Sebastian, Florida. It's my understanding that number 36 tonight is kicker Nicholas Richter. He asked us to fact check it. We will look at the roster here. And
we have 36 as Charles Blevins, but thank you. Normally, Nick Richter is 42, unless they're trying to juke out.
Yeah,
exactly. Why not?
We do not know who that is because we're way up here, but the roster says it's Blevins, but it could very well be Nick Richter. We'll just have to get Mr. Bethany to make sure the roster's correct next time for us.
Absolutely. As Leonard goes to the outside, off the fingertips of Caleb Mays. That would have been a pick six very, very quickly, as Donovan McIntosh actually had the intended receiver, had the ball go off his hands, and Caleb Mays had 50 yards for a pick six, but couldn't corral it. It's 4th down for the Dragons. They look like they're going to line up to punt.
Well, it looked like he was actually struggling too there on that one, Brian, just like Michi was earlier, to snap his head around on that 3rd down for the Cougars. it looks like the same situation there. McIntosh just didn't quite get his head around finding the football because he probably should have caught that ball. He would have wound up being short of the first down line to gain, but nevertheless, Cougars there able to get this ball back on the punt.
Absolutely. Collins with the punt, and it's a low line drive. Ball keeps going. It's taking a favorable bounce for the Dragons, and it goes all the way down to the 6-yard line.
Brian, I do have confirmation here that number 36 is Nicholas Richter. So we do have confirmation there. So we will stop saying Blevins. We'll now say Nicholas Richter.
And you know, as I said before, I'm just going to have to call him Nichter.
Yeah, right.
Mom says that she loves Nick Richter being out on the field kicking those extra points. That is so cool. Mom, thanks for fact-checking us and making certain we have the right person. We'll make certain we say his name correctly from there on out. For those of you who want to give a shout-out to the booth, go ahead and text Doug at 314-497-3014. Again, 314-497-3014 as the Cougars are pinned very deep in their own territory. You have Gerdine under center right now, and we have a timeout for the Cougars. Doug, tell us a little bit about what's going on at Lutheran High these days.
Yeah, we got a lot of events coming up. We're kind of getting into the thick of the fall season here. Had an exciting volleyball game last night against St. Dominic. It was Future Cougar Night here. I had Future Cougar Night for both our softball team and our volleyball team. Coming up the next couple of weeks, we got some fun events, Brian. Next weekend, Cougars are going to be on the road with the football team, but the girls varsity volleyball team is going to be at home having our annual varsity girls volleyball invitational. Coming up also tomorrow, another big, heavy day. The Orchard Farm JV volleyball tournament. Cougars will be at that. The varsity volleyball team I referenced earlier are going to be at a tournament again tomorrow at St. Joseph Academy. Girls softball team continues in the Fort Zumwalt East varsity volleyball tournament. Cross country team is going to be down in Festus at the Festus Invitational. Both our men's and our women's, our JV and our varsity team. And then finally, tomorrow is also the AAA Conference Tennis Tournament for our tennis team. Also got a fun event coming up here this weekend for our senior class. All of our seniors are going to go on senior retreat tomorrow through Monday. So that's an exciting event for them to be able to bond and just kind of have an enjoyable time together here as they begin this senior year, their last year of high school here, Brian.
Yeah, I can remember when my children came through Lutheran High School going on senior retreats. It was very special. Aiden Harris gets the ball, and he gets lit up right at the line of scrimmage. He loses about a yard. It's going to be 2nd and 11 deep in their own territory from the 6-yard line of the Cougars.
Yeah, boy, just not a good play there for the Cougars, Brian. Got to get out of the shadow of our own goalposts here. Unfortunately, the line did not get a push on that play. You know, again, I would hope that last play before that, rather, on the deep bomb from Gerdine to Caleb Mays would kind of excite, I mean, obviously the crowd's excited, but excite the Cougars here to be able to move the ball here offensively, because definitely you don't want to be deep in your own end zone having to punt and give the Dragons excellent field position.
Absolutely. With 14-7, the Dragons are on top with 6:38 before the half. Cougars are lined up very deep as Gerdine is on the end zone. He throws to the outside and just an incomplete pass. It's going to be 3rd and long ways to go. They need to connect, Doug.
Yeah, boy, that was just a misfire there. I think if he'd have caught that too, he might not have gone that far. I believe that was Caleb Mays, but I like the Cougars going to the air here in that situation, kind of trying to catch the Dragons off balance, but because their defensive front has been just stout when we're running the ball. You look down there, they got some monsters on the defensive line.
Yeah, Doug, you know, the Cougars being 3-0, and you have the Dragons 2-1. They actually lost last week 21-20 to Naperville-Nequa Valley. You know, I look at their schedule coming up, and they actually play out of town in Louisville, Trinity, Kentucky later in the year. It's interesting that a lot of teams are doing that these days, as Gerdine has the pass deflected off of the intended receiver, Caleb Mays' hands, and we're going to have a punt attempt, and they're going to be deep in the end zone on this punt attempt.
Yeah, boy, this is exactly what we talked about not wanting to do, Brian, is having to punt here. Literally standing in the blue of the Cougar end zone is going to be a rough spot. I mean, I know the great thing about this, Alan Mitchell has a cannon for a leg. Let's have him keep the ball away from this dangerous return man for the Dragons and hopefully punt it out of bounds right around the 50-yard line on a 45-yard punt, and that'd be perfect.
That would be nice as you have Chase Hendricks back to receive the punt. And it's interesting as Mitchell takes a low snap, bounce, and he's kicking it up, and wow, he kicked it out of bounds at about the 15-yard line.
Yeah, boy, I tell you what, that's definitely not one. He's going to want that one back, but I like the way he was aiming out this way. We're keeping the ball away from the St. Mary's Dragons, which again we talked about on last year's 54-12 loss. They had 3 returns for touchdowns, so definitely a smart thing to do. A couple more shout-outs here. I want to give a shout-out to my cousin Gab Booker from St. Louis. Love you, cousin. Very good. Shout-out to our cousin Gab Booker. Here's another one. Hey, Mr. Coleman. It's Jack Griskoviak. I want to give a shout-out to Coach A and Coach Rubio for the countless hours of work they put in each season. They say the players deserve the credit, but they need some recognition as well. Hope all is well. Absolutely. Well said, Jack. And your dad did not tell you to say that. That came straight out of your mouth. Boy, you got a good son up there, don't you? He does have his moments, absolutely.
David Leonard with the snap, gets it off to number 1, John Roberts. He makes the corner, and he gets it down to the – where are they going to spot him, Doug? Looks like about the 2-yard line.
1-2-yard line, yeah. Penalty, it looks like we're going to have a hold. And this is what the Cougars need. Push them back here, be first and about 17 or 18. Another shout out, sending Atlanta love to St. Louis. Let's go Cougars, shut them Dragons down. Absolutely, and I believe that's Aunt Brandy and Cousin Hamilton are super duper proud of you and all of the Cougars, talking to their nephew there, Mikey Gerdine, who did just throw that touchdown pass earlier, had a nice dime there.
Absolutely, and here the Dragons are coming back up to the line as they do a no-huddle offense, just looking around and trying to see what the coach is going to be calling in. And Doug, it's interesting. We have 6 games that we're on schedule for the Cougars that are at home, and St. Mary's actually has 6 games away.
Yeah, it's just a different year, you know.
Oh, ball's on the ground once again. Wow, that is a defensive play. That is a athletic play as David Leonard took the fumble that was dropped and picked it up, and he had a guy that was wide open.
Yeah, it looks like they did, Brian, have a lineman about 10 yards down the field. Interesting, they did not call that because that was obviously a running play, and you had the right tackle down, you know, running around looking for somebody to block down at about the 15-yard line. So I got to check that about the 12-yard line. So interesting, it was not called. Looks like he's coming out of the game now. Coach probably talked to him there, but nevertheless, that was a play. We talk about don't make a bad play worse, and I think the quarterback got away with one there because he made a bad play worse. After a fumble, he tried to throw it on a running play. Got away with it, though.
That he did. Leonard hands the ball off right up the middle to Roberts, and he picks up a couple yards. Still going to be 3rd and very long. They almost need a touchdown to get a first down.
What a nice play there by the Cougars, Brian, to just hold Jamal there to barely any gain at all, which he's not had that very often, Brian, when the Cougars have been real stout up front.
Yeah, absolutely is. Once again, quick offense for the Dragons. They have plenty of receivers. They have 2 receivers on the far and the near side. Pass across the middle to the outside and wide open touchdown, Chase Hendricks.
Man.
That was a great pitch and catch.
That was a nice job. You know, the quarterback just stood in the pocket there and was able just to find Hendricks kind of streaking open there. And it's tough to run away from Michael Parr there. So kudos to the Dragons on that play to bring this lead now 21-7.
Yeah, it took a little bit of air out of our sails there. It seemed as though the Cougars had a little bit of momentum, and then the Dragons got the ball back. And now we look at the Cougars. They have hands on hips, and they're just kind of moving around without too much authority, if you will.
Yeah, you know, they were moving with a lot there after that play, you know, after that touchdown pass to Caleb Mays. We're going to need another one of those here. Time's ticking down here.
Absolutely.
Behind by a couple of scores here.
Couple scores indeed, as Schillinger makes the extra point. Is 21-7. St. Mary's ahead of the Cougars with 5:31 left before the half. And Doug, we were talking a little bit about some of the things happening around here at Lutheran High School, and we talk a lot about community. We talk a lot about the the Christian love that is surrounding these students here at Lutheran High School in St. Charles County. And I got to say, very much so, a lot of the teachers and the administrators, they don't get a whole lot of credit all the time, mainly because you have high school kids who don't understand what it means to give a little bit of encouragement all the time.
Yeah.
But hey, huge shout out to all the staff, the administration, you personally, Doug, and also to all the teachers there at Lutheran High School. It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Brian. Got a lot of good people here. Starts with the students, who makes this place great.
Schillinger with the kickoff. Boy, nice boot. He kicks it all the way back to the 4-yard line. And got a little bit of a seam up the middle, and he's continuing to go. He's got one person to beat. He is going to the house. Michael Parr Jr., 96-yard kickoff return.
Phenomenal play. Michael Parr, again, just so much speed. Good jukes in the hole there. I think that took the Dragons, kind of just took the wind out of their sails after a phenomenal pitch and catch of Chase Hendricks in the end zone. What a return there by Michael Parr Jr.
You know what was neat about that is that he got that ball right at the 4-yard line, and he did not look one way or the other except straight forward. And he hit that hole, and it was wide open. Boy, That was impressive to see.
He did. Boy.
And here we go. It's 21-13, 5:18 left before the half, and guess what? Number 36, Nick Richter's in for the extra point attempt.
We need to fact check that, don't we? Are we sure?
No, we got checked. That's
okay,
awesome.
Very good.
This young man's got a great leg. He's accurate. He's just dual sport athlete. Ball's down, kicks up, and it's good. 21-14. Golly, gotta love it.
Well, Brian, coming up here, I got to go down, and I'm going to read do the PA announcement here at halftime for our state championship team. So we have that college scout I was talking about earlier. Caleb Guns is going to be up in the booth here, sharing his insight on the game. And I'll tell you what, the best thing about Caleb Guns, well, is his family, because he's a family man. But the best thing, he's an Oregon Duck fan.
No!
Yeah, he's an Oregon Duck fan. So you're getting rid of one Oregon Duck fan for even a bigger Oregon Duck fan. We'll be back soon, folks.
Well, welcome to the booth, young man.
Thanks. I'm standing on the shoulders of a giant there. So,
what, the Oregon Ducks?
well, yeah, that too.
Doug is a giant in many ways. He's an awesome man, and it sure is great to have you here. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. So I've got 2 kids in the Zion School District there, and we're getting more and more acclimated to life here with our church family. We're transplants from Central Illinois. So this has become our home over the last 8 years, and we've rooted a family here. And, you know, as they continue to grow, I'm sure that our relationship with the school system here will grow as well.
Absolutely. And I, from experience, being a father of 3 that had children go through here, it is an awesome experience, not only for the kids but also for the parents as well, as Jamal Roberts took that kickoff return back all the way to the 43, 44-yard line. He's a tough kid to bring down. There's no doubt about that. So Central Illinois, were you near Lincoln, Illinois?
So I spent some time between Bloomington and Champaign.
Nice.
And my wife is actually from the Champaign area. That's where we met. And we moved down here for a job, actually, in 2013. I was working with marketing with Red Bull at that time. So
no wonder the 5-hour energy thing made you chuckle behind us.
Yeah. Doug has a brand of choice, so.
Nothing wrong with that as Chase Hendricks takes the sweep out to the outside. He didn't quite make the corner, ends up picking 2 yards up. It's going to be second. Actually, they mark him out right at the line of scrimmage. So it's still going to be 2nd and 10 with 5:09 left before the half.
I tell you what, these I'm super impressed with the Cougars' ability to stay with them tonight. Like on paper, it looked like this could have been a hard night to be wearing blue, but they've done a really good job bouncing back from adversity.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that, and you called that one perfectly on that. Lots of adversity here, but as we said earlier, we have 2 powerhouses on this football field right now, and They're bending, but they're not breaking. So that's what's fun about this is we had a quarterback going to the flats, and you have Roberts in the flats, and he has too much room. And nice little tackle at the very end, saving tackle actually by number 11, Jackson Bethany.
That was a nice tackle in open field. Otherwise, that was 6 all night.
It was funny as number 20, Jamal Roberts, once again was going down the sidelines. He was trying to direct traffic in front of him, and I thought he was going to plant the left foot and cut back, but he just lowered his shoulder and ran right over Jackson Bethany.
When you were in high school, do you remember guys that could run as fast as that?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if I've ever seen speed like that at that age.
I'm with you on that. Just joking on that as the Cougars just take down Roberts Jr. Pretty quickly. Number 58 actually led the whole Cougars on that. That's John McCaleb. Boy, John McCaleb, 6'1", 299 senior. That was nice. You're not going to get around him very quickly.
Now, there's some big boys on our squad this year.
Yeah. You know, it's funny you say that. Back in high school, there were two that I remember that could probably keep up with Mr. Roberts out on the football field. And if we didn't contain them, they would take the ball 99 and a half the other way. Why do I say that? Because I have experience of a fumble.
Nice sack.
Nice. Big-time sack. Number 22, Jayshawn Richmond. Boy, we needed that.
Yeah, if we can get a stop here before halftime, that really gives us a good swing of momentum going into the second half of the game.
It does. You know, it's interesting to say the last few weeks as we've been doing the announcing, it seems like the first half has flown by, and, of course, the second halves have really flown by. This one seems like it's a bit of a grind. It just keeps going, and it's an exciting time because it's back and forth. Love it.
That first quarter, I kept thinking that I hope the referees had extra OxyClean at home for those hankies, but it's really cleaned up here in the second quarter.
Yeah, nice. Once again, wow, the quarterback just took a pounding. David Leonard just goes down hard. Once again, you had John McCaleb come in, and he just leveled him.
There's definitely been a switch in the game plan there on defense, it appears, and Coach Harris has got something drawn up that seems to have their number up front.
It's interesting when you start getting a little bit of momentum and you change things up a little bit. A good head coach, good coaches all together, they make adjustments. And then I can see that right now. We've made some adjustments on defense and offense as well. And it's showing right now as Cougars are down by one score with 3:28 left before the halftime.
Looks like they're gonna go for it here on fourth. Don't have a whole lot to lose with this field position, so.
Yeah, you wouldn't, and there's lots of confusion on the defensive side of the ball right now. It's fourth down and very long, and it looks like we have a timeout by the Cougars. And, you know, kicking a field goal from here is going to be really, really long, if you will. Not very high percentages by any means, but then also you have a punt, which more than likely would end up with a touchback, so why not try and go? You're only picking up a few yards, and guess what? We have nice little shout out here. You want to talk about the shout out?
Oh, yeah. I take over Doug's phone here, huh? It says, we're rooting for the Cougars from Chicago. LHS first quarterback, Austin Brito.
Yeah.
LHS first football coach, Gordon Brito. Go Cougars.
Wow, you got to love it. You know, there's a Christian award out there at Lutheran High School that has Mr. Gordon's name all over it. And, yeah, icons right there on the phone.
On Doug's phone.
That's
you know, I'm getting it all. I've got Doug's phone. I got Doug's ear sweat when I put on the headset.
Now that's gross.
Well, we're gonna have to draw a line on how much we share. We enjoy the Oregon Ducks, but I think it probably that and maybe a good conversation. Maybe we need to draw the line.
There you go. I would agree with you there. You got another shout out?
I do not yet.
Not yet. Very good. All right, it's fourth and long way to go for St. Mary's as the timeout has now concluded, and here we go. This is going to be an interesting play. Boy, it'd be nice to see the Cougars stop this one. Wow, you don't see many times with quad receivers on the near side.
You got a one-on-one there on the far side. That's got me. Yeah, he's going to him.
And he has him wide open. Oh, nice defensive play. Very, very well defended. Caleb Mays back there, he said, no way.
That was great defense. Real clean stop.
That was almost the exact same play that happened down at the other end of the field when they both went up. And unfortunately for the Cougars, the Dragons actually scored on that. But, boy, it's nice to be able to see that young man, David Leonard. He's got a good arm on him and just a great defensive play there by Caleb Mays.
Yeah, that was a nice pass for sure. I mean, you couldn't have asked for better placement. It just got matched by an even better defensive play.
You got stud going against stud. You got to like it. Gerdine, young sophomore, surveying the field. Looks like he has more confidence as this game goes on. Little cross buck trap, if you will. Harris gets the ball. He gains about 3 yards. It's going to be second and long.
Yeah, tuning in from home and watching you guys call the games this season so far, really impressed with Mr. Gerdine out there. For a sophomore, he shows a lot of poise, and, you know, the ceiling for him so high yet with 2 more years to go. I'm just amazed by his arm strength already.
Yeah, at the quarterback position, he's 5'7", 137 pounds, sophomore. It's pretty cool to be able to see. 5'7" is tough to be able to see over the giants of the line in front of him, but he has a lot of poise, a lot of quickness, and he knows exactly what needs to be done. As he's a smart young man. Once again, the ball's batted down. Number 13 comes off the edge, but I believe that was 14 for the Dragons that actually batted that ball down.
That's a reoccurring theme here with the defense, is they're really getting a lot of pressure off the edges, and that pocket's coming in on Michael pretty quick. Definitely one of those things I'm thinking coaching will address going into halftime for the Cougars. Boy, you couldn't ask for a better night.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous.
First 2 nights, it was steady rain the whole game. The other few nights have been gorgeous just the same. So we'll take it. As the Cougars come to the line, they have trips to the near side. They got a single receiver up top, single back, and here we go. Gerdine takes the snap from shotgun, ball's up to the outside. A little bit of miscommunication as our receiver was held up a little bit, but no flag called. Pass is incomplete. It's going to be 4th down. Long way to go. We're going to have to punt from this side.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a decision to be made.
So you're a college football recruiter, huh? What are you?
Something like that. I don't know. Doug, I've just got an eye for the game, I guess Doug says. So I usually, in addition to our affection for the Oregon Ducks, we usually share a few text message exchanges over the weekends as I try to call out a few. Oh, boy.
Oh.
Got a piece of that.
He did get a piece of that. We got flags all over the place. We're going to have roughing the passer on this, or kicker on this one.
Yeah.
Bad snap, but they didn't stop at all and just leveled Mitchell. So we will see what's going to happen here. And then
Waiting for the call here.
Yeah, the men in stripes down there, they're telling everybody to get back off the field. Interesting to say. So, Central Illinois between Champaign and Bloomington. So, you're either a Cardinal fan or you're an Illinois fan. Which one is it?
So, we are, my wife is both.
Whoa.
And we actually were Illinois season ticket holders for a long time. But, boy, that is a hard job to take on, to go watch that 6 games out of the year. We continued even when we moved to St. Louis here for a couple years, but then it just got to be, a 6-hour round trip to watch a team put up 4 points, or, some obscure number that you don't even know how they got there. They seem to have turned it around a little bit, but, I'd rather sit at home and watch those Ducks put 70 on somebody like they did last weekend.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. 4 points, that's hard to get in football.
Yeah. Ask
2 safeties.
Ask the Hawkeyes, though, in week 1, Iowa. I think they scored, I think it ended up 7, but they had a field goal and 2 safeties.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it? That's a baseball score. Once again, we line up for the punt, and Mitchell takes the snap. Good snap, kicks up. Boy, he's got a good one. Nice little spiral. And rightfully so, they keep it away from number 7 out there, Chase Hendricks, because he's a great return man, no doubt about it. So St. Mary's going to take over at the 40-yard line. Looks like we do have a flag down on the play, yes?
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what came of that. It was a holding on the kick or on the receiving team, maybe. But boy, that's pretty far away from the action. I don't.
And here comes the call. Well, they're still talking it over. Mulling it over, I guess, is the right way to say it. 2:15 left in the half here. Cougars are down one score, 21-14. And it looks like we have holding against St. Mary's. Wow, that's a big call.
That's a big one for sure.
This is going to be interesting to see where they actually place the ball. And I'm going to say Cougars going to get the ball back on this. It's going to be first down for the Cougars, looks like. We shall see.
You've got an army of white still out on the field there, so I think they're trying to sort it out officially. Looks like they're going to take it back to the 30-yard line is where St. Mary's will start from.
They'll start 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
So I was incorrect on that. It's going to be 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Cougars are lining up to get to the line of scrimmage, and wow, that took a long time to try and sort that out. You know, earlier in the ball game, looked like we had some Channel 2 out here. Channel 11, they partner with Channel 2. But we had a cameraman out here doing some videos. Pretty neat to be able to see 2 high-powered offenses and 2 high-powered defenses getting a little bit of shout-out and love from Channel 2 and 11.
I think they saved a little bit of gasoline, too, covering another game right across the tree line, maybe. I heard the roars going up earlier from over there, so get your money's worth tonight. You know, the one thing I noticed walking up tonight is the amount of small kids here watching the game, and that's exciting to see. You know, I know I grew up in a very high school football prominent town in northern Illinois, and that was always such a big deal as the kids got ingrained with that culture so early. I mean, in reality, we were running the offense in 5th grade that we would run in high school, and that's why success came, because you were so, you know, disciplined with how to run it.
You know, you teach them in a way they shall go. When they grow old, they will not stray from it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm still learning. At 7 and 3, I've still got to, you know, I'm taking lessons from all of you guys on how to get through these next 15 years yet and beyond.
I'll tell you, the tuition continues, but it's a great investment.
That's money well spent for sure.
Yeah, I look at it as an investment because it's neat to be able to see your kids shine as pass goes to the outside, and rightfully so. Looks like number 8 over there. First time we call his name. Washington wisely steps out of bounds. It's going to be 2nd and 3 from about the 38-yard line, 37-yard line, actually.
It looks like they're firing up that 2-minute drill a little early before the 2-minute mark on the clock. Get some more points on the board.
Yeah, it's the 2-ish drill.
The 2-ish.
You know, we got a big hole. There we go. We got flags all over the place. Somebody jumped. And that's going to go against St. Mary's. The ball's going to be moved back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down still, but it's going to be 2nd and 7. Actually, check that. 2nd and 8.
Take every yard we can get right now.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, you look at this and the way the Cougars were lined up, boy, they had almost all the 11 in the box, if you will, and there's a big wide open space over there on the far side, and that's exactly where they're looking at. Oh, nice sack. LeGrant just comes in, shoots the gap, and takes down the quarterback for a nice sack.
He walked in there untouched. That was a great call.
So powerhouse in football, Northern Illinois, Algonquin.
The other side of the state, Geneseo.
And that is one I'd never heard of.
Yeah, so So I didn't play in high school. 60, I think the record stands at 62 consecutive winning seasons.
Wow.
They hold. So, you know, they just raised, it's a rural community, so a lot of big farm kids, and, you know, like I said, discipline goes a long way.
Yes, that's great. You know, you don't hear 62 winning seasons very often. And once again, the Cougars, they stunt up the middle, and boy, Leonard just read that well, and pass was complete to Chase Hendricks as he makes it all the way up to the 47-yard line. It's going to be first down. Boy, that was nicely executed.
We had bodies there. He just split the seam perfect, though, with that pass.
Seems like he can see the field really, really well, and that's what I like to be able to see in young men. And, you know, you can tell he's got smarts out there, and he just has a knack for the football. And once again, he's got a little bit of running room as he keeps going back, cuts it back, and wisely goes down at the 40-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 again. He's moving the chains. It's 1:09 left. They want to score again. And we have an injured player down on the field right now. Looks like John McCaleb. Boy, he's been having a good game, too.
Yeah, let's hope he's okay down there. He's definitely been a leader on that side of the ball tonight.
It looks like they're working on his left knee, or perhaps he might be cramping up a little bit. Let's hope it's cramping up. That can be fixed a lot easier than a broken knee.
Yeah, you always get worried when you see a guy go down and hold his leg like that, but it does appear to be cramps, and that's far from his heart, as my mom would say.
So farmland in northern Illinois, corns or bean?
You know,
corn
it's
or
a good
beans?
split of both.
Yeah?
So, you know, I remember all the fat, you have to rotate it every couple of years so that you don't deplete the soil. Boy, I'm giving a heck of a speech here on a football game.
Yes, you are. But that's true. That's crop rotation. You need to do that. It not only helps the soil, but if you put any cows out there as well, it helps the cows to replenish the field as well. And plus, they get to eat a lot.
Yeah, I miss those days when we had cattle that, you know, I could, when I was younger, I'd go up and rob mom and dad of some steaks, you know, coming home from college. Since retirement, though, there's nothing left, so.
And Leonard from the shotgun, he takes it, and we have a flag once again. Boy, it's starting to get a little bit sloppy. I think they want to get that ball in the end zone too quickly, and they just are jumping a bit. So it's going to move them back 5 yards. It's going to be 1st and 15 for the Dragons all the way from their, actually, the Cougars' 46-yard line.
You've heard of the movie The Longest Yard. This is the longest 2-minute-ish drill.
I think you're right. I think it has not become a two-minute-ish drill. Well, we have Leonard from the shotgun once again, and boy, we got open middle across the field here. This is going to be interesting to see, and they're running receivers across the middle, one-on-one deep, and boy, he just overthrew that ball. Nice arm, though.
You know, Leonard's not getting an easy night's work by any means. He's been on the deck a few times with some pretty solid shots.
Yeah, no doubt. The intended receiver was Washington. It's going to be 2nd and 15 from the 46-yard line, and you know, you keep hitting a quarterback that hard over and over again, I don't care how tough you are, you're going to be having some happy feet in there.
Yeah, it's like a good title boxer, right? That jab may not hurt, but you hit it enough times, and it adds up. Start hearing footsteps.
So they have their stud running back, Jamal Roberts, offset to Leonard's right. Once again, nice little set for the receivers. Looking deep, looking to the right-hand side, and ball was underthrown.
Looks like you might get a roughing the passer on that one.
Oh, we got holding against the Dragons. We'll take that. Ball's going to go back even more.
I saw Leonard kind of get wrapped up, and even though gingerly it was after the throw, so I thought maybe that'd go against us.
Well, the ball keeps going backwards, and that just bodes well for the Cougars as the Dragons are going to be 3rd down. They keep moving the chains all the way back here to the 36-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and a mile, maybe a mile and a half for a first down. They got to get all the way to the opposite 31-yard line in order to get a first down.
Well, you get a good solid stop here. You might get the ball back before the end of the half.
Well, we have 45 and a half seconds left. Cougars are down by 1 score before halftime. It's turned into a heck of a ball game right here. One we sort of expected from the beginning. 2 heavyweight title champions going at it. We will see how this last few plays here in the first half transpires. Rubio, he's ready to go. He's giving pressure and almost takes him out, and I think he's going to get a roughing the passer perhaps. No penalty, just a good hard football play back there. Pass complete to number 8 for Ron Washington. It's going to be 4th and a long ways to go as well.
Well, Grant with a nice tackle from behind to prevent that from going for big yards.
Timeout, St. Mary's.
So we have a timeout on the play, 32, little over 32 seconds left before halftime. And as we said, 4th and a long ways to go. You still have Doug's phone for some shout-outs, or did he run off with that thing?
I do, but he Fort Knoxed it, so we could guess. What do you think, 0-0-0-0?
Try it.
Missed it by a couple, I think.
It's probably the score of the Oregon Ducks USC game this week.
Yeah, well, we don't need that this season. Maybe next year. I know, Brandon Maroff, he always gives Doug a little bit of a ribbing over this Oregon thing because he's a Washington fan. And if you're listening tonight, Brandon, I just want to say one of the upsets I picked this week is Washington is going to beat Michigan State at home.
Ooh.
And Michigan State, I think, number 17. I feel it. I feel it. And that's tough for an Oregon fan to say, go Washington, but I feel it.
Yeah, I would say so too. I'm a Washington fan as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, the Blue Jays from Washington down south here in St. Louis.
Yeah, they are good. Got nice uniforms.
They do. My future son-in-law played there, and his dad's a football coach there as well, and I get to follow the Washington Blue Jays quite a bit.
You got some skin in that game, then.
I do.
You need some success.
No doubt. And St. Mary's wisely chooses to punt here, 4th and a long way to go, and they change up the offensive strategy here. And, of course, Cougars change up their defensive strategy in order to receive the football. We have Caleb Mays back, along with, looks like we have, Michael Parr Jr. back as well. And the snap is there. Kick is up, and another line drive. It's going to Michael Parr. One hop, and he continues to let the ball trickle down inside the 10-yard line. So we have 24 seconds left before halftime, and Cougars take over. We shall see what they have in store for these last few plays.
I thought for a second they wouldn't kick that ball anywhere near them the way that they've been returning the ball here in this second quarter. But when you got a line drive like that, that's awful hard to field clean and get off and on your feet. It
is. Line drives in baseball, that's pretty good. Football, they're tough to take.
Not so great. I'm thinking that kicker might have learned something from putting a high lofting kick on that last time around.
Yeah, no doubt. Here we go, 1st and 10 from the Cougars' own 10-yard line. They stacked the backfield up pretty hard. You got Gerdine under center and trying to draw him off sides maybe a little bit, hand the ball off. And we got a flag on the play as looks like perhaps Mitchell got to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd and 10, and we got a penalty against the Cougars.
Looks like it's going to be going backwards with that hold.
Not much further they can go back as deep as they are in their own territory right now. The last few drives, they've been very deep in their own territory starting out, and that's a tough place to try and develop any plays. And, well, it looked like there was a flag being thrown. They're just returning the flags to each other were the referees, and I thought they were going to throw another flag unsportsmanlike or something, but not the case.
Good to see them having fun tonight.
No doubt. Handoff up the middle, taking the crowd with them. Looks like Aiden Harris gained about Almost back to the line of scrimmage, 5 yards, and we have 10 seconds left. Looks like the Cougars are just going to let the clock run out here. And they're going to go into halftime, ladies and gentlemen, down by 1 score. It's 21-14 at halftime. Lutheran Cougars are down by 1 score. We will be back shortly after halftime. Enjoy your break.
With the score, St. Mary's Dragons 21, Lutheran High School Cougars 14. Good evening once again, ladies and gentlemen, and now we come to a special moment in our halftime festivities, recognition of the LHS State Championship Final Four teams in the classes of 2005, 2006, and 2007. Before we get into that, let's pause real quick and recognize both our cheerleaders and sapphires and thank them for what they do each and every night with a quick round of applause. We will see those state champion sapphires performing after our recognition season. Consistent with the LHS mission of nurturing personal growth, the primary goal of our athletic program is to foster Christian characteristics and qualities of respect for self and others, honesty, integrity, commitment, reliability, and perseverance amongst our student athletes. These values are reinforced through our athletic experience at LHS, equipping student athletes for lives of Christian service. In 2019, we begin an annual celebration of our Missouri State High School Activities Association team and individual state champions. Unfortunately, we picked the wrong year to start a new annual tradition as COVID forced postponement in both 2020 and 2021. But this year we are returning to our original plan, and tonight we celebrate our Final Four state championship teams in 2005, 2006, and 2007. As many of you know, Lutheran High has built an impressive list of accomplishments in our athletic program over the past 3 decades. In this period, we have captured 95 AAA conference championships, 55 Mission District championships, sent 24 teams to the Mission Final Four, and hoisted 13 state championship team trophies. Plus, individual LHS student athletes have won an additional 27 Mission State championships. Let's have a round of applause for all these Mission Final Four and state championship accomplishments. Tonight we said we're welcoming back the classes of 2005, 2006, and 2007 who helped us add to that list of titles above. These proud alumni, their parents, and their families, and their coaching staffs will be gathering soon for a championship reunion. Not all of our student athletes are able to join us this evening. We do welcome the many who are here with their families and their parents. In addition, we have some who currently reside out of the area represented by parents and other family members. Let's start with our 2005 girls basketball state runner-up team. Head coach Mike Holtmeyer and assistant coaches Al Collins and Jen Brower led the Cougars to a record of 28 wins and 4 losses in an incredible season. Members of the team included Ashley Bath, Rebecca Bath, Lisa Clark, Callie Fox, Katie Federmeyer, Katie Kirby, Cassie Morton, Mary Beth Sale, Mallory Sanford, Jen Schnepke, Jamie Schneider, and Ashley Warren. Congratulations to the 2005 girls basketball team. Next, we'll recognize our 2005 girls track and field team. These ladies, under the tutelage of the Hall of Fame coach Bob Carter, narrowly missed the state championship, finishing in 2nd place. In addition to Hall of Fame coach Carter, the Lady Cougars are coached by Jim Clark, Dick Cochran, Rick Thompson, and Carol Travis. This team included the following athletes, several of whom are also members of the basketball team: Lisa Clark, Callie Fox, Jill Mueller, Rachel Travis, Amber Warren, Amanda Burke, and Katie Manahan. Let's give them a round of applause. "2005 was truly an incredible year for LHS girls athletics. Our volleyball team joined the fun as well. In 2004, the previous year, our girls volleyball team captured a state championship in Columbia, Missouri. In the fall of 2005, they returned to Columbia to defend their title, falling just short of bringing home our second place trophy. Head coach Kathy Chapin and assistant coaches Anna Lynn and Andrea Ellis led an incredible run of taking 4 consecutive teams to the state Final Four. Members of the 2005 volleyball squad produced a record of 29 wins and 7 losses. And those teammates included Amanda Burke, Jacqueline Clark, Sarah Jansen, Ashley Klein, Elaine Kuntz, Allie Meters, Julie Olds, Elise Pogemeyer, Abby Shadle, Amy Stark, Rachel Travis, Kim Wiegman, Allie Wilson, and Lindsay Glassos. Let's give them a round of applause. Our 2006 girls volleyball team, again led by head coach Kathy Chapin, Anna Lynn, Andrea Ellis, and now joined by Sarah Travis, once again finished second in state, compiling an amazing record of 32 wins and 6 losses. Those members included Elaine Kuntz, Elise Pogemeyer, Abby Shadle, Amanda Burke, Jacqueline Clark, Sarah Jansen, Ashley Klein, Allie Meters, Julie Olds, Rachel Travis, Kim Wiegman, and Lindsay Glassos. Let's give them another round of applause. Our final team we'll recognize this evening is our 2007 girls cross-country team. In their first year on the team podium, our ladies, led by head coach Mark Cherry and assistants Jason Sanford and Chris Mizell, placed 4th at state, a glimpse of things to come for LHS cross-country. Those team members included Anna Alfier, Katrina Alfier, Alex Capistani, Emily Haberstroh, Larissa Martins, Megan Mathis, Sarah McNiff, Kathleen Norman, and Catherine Willebrand. Let's give them a round of applause. These teams also included outstanding individual performances, as evidenced by the number of individual state championships won by LHS student athletes. In the 3-year period we are celebrating tonight, 3 student athletes earned championships in 5 separate track and field events. These individuals were Lisa Clark in the triple jump, Amber Warren in the 1,600-meter run and the 3,200-meter run, and Rachel Travis in the shot put and discus. None of this would have been possible without outstanding and committed coaches. LHS has been blessed with an abundance of quality coaches. Coaches that have kept a firm grasp on attitude of servant leadership. We appreciate your efforts and quality of your work. On behalf of Lutheran High, we cannot begin to thank you enough for all you have done for our program and for what you do for all the young men and women upon with whom you've had a positive impact. As these athletes, their families, and their coaches lead the track, please join me in one final round of applause for these tremendous accomplishments. Thank you once again.
Now taking the field is defending champion, state champion, Sapphires of Lutheran High School. Ladies, your music is on.
drop that low.
Sandwiches and crime allowances, finessing animals and counterfeits. But now I'm counting this. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris. A to the P and P to the A and funk. My left stroke just went viral. Viral. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. Be humble. Sit down. One, two, three.
6, Charles Glenn will kick off to the Cougars to begin this second half. Chase Hendricks and Jamal Roberts back to return.
Welcome back, Cougar Nation. Here we go to start the second half. We have St. Mary's Dragons up 21-14 over your hometown Cougars. Nick Richter with the kickoff. And wisely, he kicks off to the sidelines, and wow, they just want to keep it away from those fast guys in the back there. Looks like the Dragons going to be taking over first and 10 from the 27-yard line or so. Two heavyweight champions here, one in Class 2 last year, one in Class 3. They both have moved up a class. Lutheran Cougars are now Class 3, and St. Mary's Dragons are Class 4 after winning their respective state championships last year. Boy, that was a fun ride last year.
It's tough to follow such a good season, but boy, at 3-0 and standing in here toe-to-toe tonight, great way to start the year.
Boy, there's no doubt about that as they give the ball right up the middle. Wow, he had one tackle to break. John Roberts took it up right up the gut. Ended up getting tackled after he made the first down. So Aiden Harris with the tackle, and you're looking at the Dragons moving the ball pretty well just to start the second half out. Once again, same play going to the outside. They saw something. Roberts takes the same hole, cuts it back to the outside, to the right side actually, and gains about 6 yards. Their momentum has picked up dramatically.
Yeah, they've come out of the locker room running the no huddle. I think they're aiming to try and put a lot of snaps on this defense and see if they can get them to bend. You know, halftime, a little foreshadowing in that Tom Petty selection. The Cougars, they can't back down right now.
Wow, you got to love it. I love the punniness.
Dad jokes, I'm getting there.
Yeah, no doubt about that.
Oh,
Here
boy.
we go. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles broken, and number 20 goes down. Boy can run. He has his legs just going. Jamal Roberts moves the chains. And we got a flag on the play.
That's an unfortunate error in judgment after the ball was dead there, it looks like. You hate to negate a big gain like that with losing your cool coming up, but it might be the case in this situation.
It's exactly what it is. And, you know, it's interesting. The Cougars, in the last 3 ball games that they had a ton of penalties, and it cost them probably, on average, over 100 yards a game. And here we are. We've pretty much kept our cool, which is nice to be able to see. It's been a pretty clean game for the most part, but, boy, that was a heck of a run for naught.
Yeah, watching last week, that score we gave up before halftime, that was a lot of self-inflicted wounds that added up to some points on the board for the other team. And it looks like the Cougars have learned from that coming into week number 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Had an update. We played St. Dominic last week and beat them 45-3. It looks like St. Dominic has their homecoming game tonight. I was getting some tweets in from some friends of mine as the ball is directly smack dab in the middle of the field. St. Dominic is actually up 45-0 at halftime at their homecoming.
Oh, you like to hear that after a tough loss last week to see them bounce back.
I agree. Boy, he had a little play option there. That was
Dragons.
Wow.
You got to give them some equal airtime here. So
absolutely, gotta love that. GB Gabe Booker. And we have another flag on the play all the way from South Carolina. You know, you're talking about barbecue down there. Was that what I just heard?
Yeah.
Wow.
We got barbecue here in St. Louis, don't we?
Yeah, we do, but I'm telling you, maybe he can ship some up here.
Yeah. Well, we're up in the booth if he can hurry.
Yeah. You have to have a very fast jet to get the.
Yeah. It's always fun to hear all the different texts that come in through the course of the game and how nationwide some of the broadcasts have gone here this season. It's been really fun to hear.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, we do give shout-outs to different states and so forth, and it's pretty neat to be able to see. Excuse me. We've been all over the country. I mean, the Northeast, the Southeast, the Upper Midwest, Texas, Northwest. Southwest is pretty cool. And Leonard, once again, he's scrambling, and he gets away from one defender, and the second one knocks him down. The pass is incomplete. Wow, that was a heck of a play. That looked like a college football play right there.
That was a great defensive effort and a college football throw, too. I mean, Leonard really put that on a rope, and he did get another one of those jabs we were talking about in the first half there, and you got to start wondering if that's going to pay dividends for the Cougars over time for as many times as he's had to hit the deck.
Yeah, no doubt. David Leonard is he was limping a little bit. You could tell he was a little slow getting up, walking back to take the play in from his coaches. But this is one tough young man here, and he's going to stick his nose right back in. He's got a lot of pride. He wants to lead his team down the football field here. And he has 2 receivers to the near side, 2 receivers to the far side with a single back. He's in the shotgun. The snap comes. They hand off to number 20. And he puts his head down and just gains several yards. Jamal Roberts, about 10 on the play. It's going to be 4th and 12. Actually, mark that, check that, 4th and 13. At their own 47-yard line, they're going to line up to punt. The Dragons are, and we'll end up having Caleb Mays and Michael Parr Jr. back for the Cougars.
Definitely be watching this kicking game in the second half, see if they really go at our receivers there back deep. You know, after that second quarter, I would venture to say they'd probably try to want to stay away from them. But
and it seems that's exactly what they did. And, wow, had a little bit of a scuffle there at the end. Fair play, good football play, but brought a little bit of a gasp, if you will, from the hometown crowd as one of our players got pummeled over on the far side. Cyril Holloway did. But, hey, the punt goes out of bounds at the 21-yard line. It's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cougars. And it's 10 minutes and 3 seconds left in the third quarter.
It's pretty neat seeing all the past state champions honored there at halftime. I'm sure the viewers at home got to hear some of that. That was cool to see the families go out with them, get that honor.
You know, it is neat, and that's part of the foundation that you get to build here. And the Cougars, over the course of many, many years, have built great teams, and, you know, they get to come back and say, hey, and celebrate each other and celebrate the successes and continue to have that foundation into the future. Cougars, looks like we're going to have a 5-yard penalty. Somebody jumped there. It's going to be 1st and 15 from, looks like, about the 16-yard line.
Penalties against Lutheran High. Moves the ball back 5 yards, remains first down.
Well, let's see what the Cougars have got here for this opening drive in the second half. They can settle back in, dig their heels in like they did to end the first half.
Yeah, I look at it. This is, once again, a battle between the 20s and 30s, it seems like, and we're back a little bit further now as Gurdine's looking deep. He's got a wide-open man. Wow, nice catch, nice pitch, great reception. Michael Parr Jr. all the way down to the 47-yard line.
That was a Kurt Warner-esque type play. I'm going to throw it to the spot, and you're going to be there. Pitch and catch all night on that one.
You know, it's interesting you say that. Last week, exactly that happened with Michael. Actually, Caleb, last week it may have been Michael Parr for that matter. But anyway, he threw to a spot, Gurdine did, and, man, they just kept running, got up underneath the ball and had a very, very deep play. It was pretty neat to see.
That's a strong bond between a quarterback and his receivers, knowing that they'll be there.
It was Caleb Mays last week. That's what I was trying to say. I couldn't get it out. You know, it happens every now and then. But nice little run up the middle to nowhere. So it's going to be 3rd and lost about a yard. Aiden Harris did. It's going to be 3rd and about 10.5 yards. Right at 10 yards. Let's take the benefit of the doubt.
I think it's, yeah, this will be second down. So we get that extra down.
You know, I was playing Colorado rules, the Buffaloes, way back in the early 90s.
Yeah, you get the mulligan.
You do, or the 5th down.
Yeah.
to win a national championship eventually. Mitchell gets the handoff, nowhere to go. He just got smothered. 44 took him down pretty quickly. Mr. Perkins, he's a 6'1", 208-pound junior defensive lineman. Boy, he was quick to the ball there.
Tackled by 44 Perkins.
Yeah, we're going to need that extra down here to get this one back.
It's interesting we talk about extra downs. We had several years ago, there's an organization here in St. Charles that has a businessman's prayer breakfast that they put on, and we actually had the head coach of the Colorado Buffaloes speaking to a St. Louis hometown crowd full of Mizzou Tiger fans, and yes, he brought up the 5th down debacle.
Know your audience type of situation.
Yeah, he had a little bit of fun. Bill McCartney was his name. He had a little fun ribbing the hometown crowd, but hey, water under the bridge. Gerdine is scrambling. He's looking. He gets hit as the ball's released, and thankfully nobody was there. It's an incomplete pass, and he didn't have anywhere to go on that one.
I think we're fortunate there that found the turf and that Gerdine's arm stayed from any contact there. You know, running across your body and making that throw, it's easy for a defender to slip underneath on the follow-through, hurt a hand or a wrist, and luckily that wasn't the case there.
Case in point happened to Patrick Mahomes a couple weeks ago, actually last Sunday. Although they've played since then, and you're talking about throwing across your body. Boy, I don't know if you saw that last night or not, but as the snap is not very good, hits the up back, but wow, Mitchell got a bomb off. He takes it all the way down. That ball's still rolling inside the 10. They're going to stop it inside the 2. Wow, what a great recovery.
Mitchell has taken some below average snaps tonight and really made magic with them, and that kicking game's going to come into play. It doesn't look so good. He looks like he might have pulled a hamstring or something on that play, though, as he kind of gingerly comes off the field.
Yeah, he's wobbling a bit there, but back to my point on last night throwing against your body, Patrick Mahomes, he was rolling out to the right-hand side, didn't see anybody, and all of a sudden he threw a short stop pass to an open receiver for a touchdown. That was pretty sweet to see.
He's definitely redefined what athleticism at the quarterback position looks like. It used to be you'd watch Brett Favre, and it was just grit and, you know, dirt and spit on it and walk it off, and Mahomes just makes it look so full of finesse. Conversely, Dak Prescott got a hand injury. Oh, boy.
Number 20, he's going to take it. We got a race out here right now. He's pulling away. Wow, 100 yards. Jamal Roberts. Holy cow. 99-yard run, went right up the middle. What a great, great speed does that dude have.
Yeah, I mean, if you're pulling away like that, like I had insinuated earlier in the broadcast, I haven't seen many running backs that have that type of speed at the high school level. But, boy, they opened the door, and he took advantage of it.
No doubt. Michael Parr Jr. was step for step with him, but just couldn't catch up with him, and toward the end he started pulling away a little bit more. He hit that hole, and I think the Mack truck could have gone through that.
And the line did their job.
No doubt. That puts the Dragons up 27-14. Wow, that kind of hushed the hometown crowd here as the Dragons are trying the extra point. Schellinger is there. The snap is good. The kick is up, and extra point is good. It's 28-14. Dragons are doubling up the Cougars right now with 7:23 left in the third quarter.
The Cougars definitely need to get something going on offense here to keep that defense off the field and get them a rest. I mean, they've been out on the turf, if I had to guess, almost all but a minute of this quarter of this half now, and that's going to start adding up as well. They had a hard-fought first half, and they can't play out there, 80% of the time and expect to win the battle in the trenches.
Yeah, no doubt. You have an awesome punt. Bad snap, but awesome punt. Gets all the way down to the 2-yard line, 1-yard line. And then end up having a backbreaker right there. But, hey, good for that young man. Taking it to the house. That is awesome. Awesome to see.
Yeah, he's got a gift there, and he just showed it all to us. probably about 10.1 seconds the way it felt like there for that 100 yards.
Now you're getting technical.
Yeah, down to the 10th. We're using decimal points.
There you go. Schellinger with the kickoff and short kick to the second line, if you will. Nice little juke step.
Oh!
Going to the outside. He's got room. He's got a lane. He's going to take this one if he beats the kicker all the way to the house. Touchdown, Cougars!
We needed a little bit of magic after that play, and we got it.
Absolutely. I think he's as stunned as everybody else as Riley Vanderpool, number 18, comes in and gets the touchdown.
That's a good way to get your last name in the score line for the season.
Wow. And he lost his shoe to boot. Oh, you got to love it. He lost his shoe at the 45-yard line and still outran everybody else. How cool is that?
That's definitely a great story that he'll remember.
Yeah, well done, young man. Well done.
He's definitely getting the accolades from the teammates and the helmet slaps there.
Oh, that was fun to see. That was fun to see. We have another guy down on the field right now who's not doing too well. He got hurt. He might be cramping up as well. You know, let's talk about this. That's special. The Dragons are trying to say, hey, we're just going to punch it here and get it to the second line. Hopefully he'll just catch it and fall down. Well, he caught it and took off.
Definitely makes you rethink the strategy, and it'll be interesting where you're going to kick to if you know that the second line can take it too. I understand they don't want to go deep because of our threats with speed back there, but you just got hurt a different way, and that's going to change the game a little bit.
Yeah, it definitely will change the game, and then perhaps if you think about it, maybe we'll just go to the other side, the second line near side to us. They haven't tried that spot yet.
Yeah. We might get a better view. I mean, I don't mind it being a little closer so I can see what's going on.
Yeah, we had some great help up here with our spotters and cameramen and our stud engineer sitting behind us, making certain everything's going on, Brent Gossett, affectionately known as the Director of Sports Technology at Lutheran High School. If he wasn't here, we wouldn't be able to do this. That young man sitting behind us, the engineer in this whole thing, he's the brains of hooking all these cables up, getting all the programs together, making certain we have our replays, making certain we have our scoreboard highlighted, and then he throws it up on YouTube.
Yeah, that was nice to see this year. As I started to tune in more and more, I was like, this is convenient. I can go anywhere, have the game on. I go out and pick up dinner and still be listening.
That's right.
Not watching. If you have to drive, don't watch. Just listen to the audio.
Don't drive in YouTube is what you're saying?
Yes. The messaging got added on what you should and shouldn't do with driving.
That's exactly right. That's Jay Sean Richmond who was down. He's got a cramp, and they're trying to work that thing out right now. Cougars are going for two, try to catch the Dragons.
Looks like we fell
on their heels, and I don't think we got it.
The trainer looks like they've had their hands full, and we might need a little help out on the field again now.
Yeah, the first game of the season when we were in Parker, Colorado, of course, it was a lot thinner air out there, and it seemed like every other play we were having another hammy that was just tightening up or a cramp happening, and we have it again tonight.
We've got one guy down on the sidelines getting treatment, another one out on the field with the same leg.
Yeah.
This is definitely need to get some hydration going, and it's a deceptive night because it's not overly warm, but you can tell our guys are putting it all out there, and they're working hard, and, in exchange, they don't have a lot left in the reserves to keep them up.
Yeah, that's what it takes is going out, doing what you can, loving it, and certainly with these hammies going down and these cramps happening, we'll just have to get some more electrolytes.
Yeah.
No doubt about that. 7:13 left in the third quarter. It's 28-20 right now. Fun time out here tonight in Lutheran High and St. Charles with the host Lutheran High Cougars against the defending State 3 champions, St. Mary's Dragons. And man, I tell you, this is definitely a heavyweight battle. It's going back and forth, and Isaiah Rubio was the injured player who had a little bit of a cramp. He is all taken care of and walking briskly off the field right now.
It's good to see. You never know the severity. You know, you see a guy down and you just kind of watch hesitantly, hoping everything's, for the best, and it's good to see him up and going now.
Yeah, no doubt about that. We say this all the time. Isaiah's got a brother who plays for Notre Dame right now. They got a pretty tough task if you think about it. They're 0-2, started the season ranked inside top 5 in the country. Lost a tough one in their home opener, or in the opener. In the second game, they just laid an egg, and quite frankly, being 0-2 knocked them out of the top 25. But Mr. Rubio is there, and hopefully he'll be able to get in and start to contribute for the Irish.
They might start shaking some stuff up, and he might see some more snaps, for the Irish.
Yeah, Jamal Roberts once again, he's breaking tackles, and he's got one person to beat, and he's going to take it all the way back. He's got 15 to the 10 to the 5. He just ran his second kickoff back.
Holy cow.
Actually, it was 99-yard on the last play. That was a running play. This was a 99-yarder that he took all the way back to the house. He's going to be tired.
Yeah, that ice bath's going to be calling his name after the game.
In there, so you can start reading off the sponsors.
Why don't we do some of those?
Let's do it.
Let's start it off with the gold level there, the Lutheran Booster Club. Always nice to see them at the top of the page with Signature Orthopedics. How about down in the silver level? Car Shield, Athletico, CertaPro Painters of St. Charles, South County, and West County. The bronze level, Midas Hospitality. I know them. They're good people. Good people there. I like to stay at their properties when I get a chance. Some of the gray, we've got John and Kelly Brickner. Well, look at that, Dr. Doug and Sarah Kuhlman. Does he ever say his own name?
No, he doesn't.
He deserves that. This guy wears a lot of hats around here, and had I known that, I don't know if I would have been up here for a second half, but Doug's out running around with his 100 obligations during game night. So.
There's no doubt about that, and he's been here a long time at Lutheran High, and as I like to say, sometimes when you're there for a long time, you're depreciated out. But he continues to have plenty of life and just contributes in a mighty, mighty way. Good friend of mine, Doug Kuhlman, he's honoring some of those alumni that came back tonight as well, and just loving on the fact that we have some state champions back here, and he's reminiscing with them, so that's pretty cool to see. And thankful that you're up here as well and took over in Doug fashion. He said, hey, I'm leaving the second half.
I'm out of here.
And whoever was standing next to him got the headphones.
Yeah, I guess, first timer, I'll know for next time.
Something tells me you're going to be back. You're doing an excellent job. Love to have you up here in the booth. 6:57 left, 35-20. Wow. That was a track meet these last 2-3 different drives. So if you want to call them drives, plays.
It's like watching the NBA All-Star game. Not a lot of defense on these last few possessions. Let's see if we got a little magic on this kickoff, too.
No, he's kicking the same person. And looky there. It's 150-48 right now. Oh, wait a minute. That's the NBA game. Kick it when they kick to the up back on that, and ended up getting to the 41-yard line of the Cougars. It's going to be 1st and 10, and looks like we have another injured player down. That's Mitchell down.
Yeah. Looks similar, though, that, the cramping of the legs. And, you hate to see a kid down, but if that's the extent of the injury, that's always good to see.
Yeah, if you get injured and having a cramp's okay, because you can get out, recover from that pretty quickly.
But Albert Pujols just hit a home run.
Albert Pujols, 2-run homer to left field, 427 feet. Arenado scored with him. Wow.
He didn't leave a lot of doubt on that one.
No, not at all. I've been watching it as it's so exciting to be able to see Albert back in a Cardinal uniform and, retiring as a Cardinal. How fun is that? And here he is almost at 700, 698, I believe that home run tonight is. And as somebody said in the commentary I was reading, he finally made the Mount Rushmore of the home run leaders.
Well, yeah, I mean, what do you got? Two other guys, Hank Aaron, Babe Ruth, that were not implicated in some sort of scandal. And we were talking at the office. I've got a coworker down in Dallas that is a big Cardinals fan. I said, we all happenstance it. Albert hasn't officially said that this is it, but one would presume, and the same with Wainwright possibly. If all three of them decide to go, 3 first ballot Hall of Famers is unheard of from the same team.
There's no doubt about that. And just recently, the pass here was incomplete to the flats, and you had Yachty and Wainwright setting a major league record at the batteries. Most times at the batteries to start, the pitcher and catcher being in a major league game. I think it was 26 was the record, actually. So that's pretty cool to be able to see the longevity of two studs. I remember Wainwright when he first came up playing against the Mets and kind of buckled Beltran's knees on a wicked curveball that nobody saw before.
That's right. ESPN last night, they were talking about that, and they said, Wainwright likes to live dangerously. There's not many great starting pitchers that can do 89-mile-an-hour fastballs and continue to make it effective outside of Greg Maddux. And that's really what he's done. He's a Maddux-like career.
Totally agree. We have another injured player on the field. That looks like Michael Parr Jr. He did get up. Looks like he may have had a little bit of a cramp as the last play, 3rd and long now. But the last play, we ended up having Gerdine go to the outside and just overthrew a diving Michael Parr Jr. That would have been an exceptional play.
With a quarter and a half to go here, we're definitely going to have to start dialing something up to find, the Dragons came out of halftime, and it seems like they shored up the weaknesses that we had found. And, with not a lot of time to go here, we're going to have to exploit a different area of the defensive game plan, I believe. Oh, we got another guy down here in the huddle with some cramping.
Well, this definitely will slow the game down.
Yeah, first timer here, so this will take the wind out of the sails, and we're going to have to get some, a lot of guys down getting treatment on the sideline too for the same issues. So,
yeah, no doubt. You're talking about Wainwright throwing 89. He can hit the black on the plate, obviously, and Maddux. It's just crazy to think that he knew how to pitch. We have so many throwers in today's game. We have a lot of pitchers, don't get me wrong. But it seems like a dime a dozen now. Everybody's throwing 94, 95, 96 miles per hour, and then you have a few that can hit over 100 in the baseball world. That is very, very fast. You don't see many who can just pick and hit different spots every single time.
Well, the difference in the longevity of those pitchers' careers is the one, uses their brain with their arm, and the other uses their arm first. And you've got a lot of God-given talent to a lot of these guys out on the mound anymore, but 102 miles an hour isn't sustainable for a 15-year career. It's 5-year flash in the pan type stuff before a Tommy John a lot of the time.
Yeah, you meet Uncle Tommy there. And, we have a local gentleman who went to St. Charles High School named Dennis Tankersley. Actually made his major league debut down in Atlanta. He got a phone call one day, and they said, hey, meet us in Atlanta. He goes down to Atlanta. Major league debut on the mound against whom? Greg Maddux.
Oh, wow. No pressure, kid.
No pressure, but he did make it with a no decision out of there. I think he pitched 5 and ended up getting a no decision. Aiden Harris gets the ball to the outside. He's got plenty of room. One blocker in front of him, and nice defensive play as he gets pushed out of bounds by number 9, McIntosh. McIntosh was getting blocked, and it looked like he might have been able to make the corner, but McIntosh got off of the block and was able to get Aiden Harris pushed out of bounds. Looks like we have a penalty on the play. It's going to be brought back, holding against the Cougars.
That's the type of play that we needed, though. Aiden Harris has been kind of quiet here tonight, by his standards at least, and a nice gain like that negated, and hopefully, it won't be too long before we hear his name on another big gainer.
Yeah, no doubt on that. And Wow, last year, St. Mary's, they took it to us. If you remember that game, I don't know if you remember that game or not, but St. Mary's beat us 54-12. And we had some good stuff here. Arlen Harris Jr. actually had 16 rushes in that game. He averaged 4.31 yards per carry with 69 total yards. We didn't have a whole lot of offense. Aaron Coffey was a stud from quarterback last year. Did really well as far as passing, 16 of 31 or 18 of 31, a little bit over 50%, threw for 132 yards, but no touchdowns. And once again, St. Mary's defense was tough last year as they are this year, and Gerdine just made a sophomore mistake right there as he got hit hard and there's nowhere to go. The only other thing he could have done was throw the ball out of bounds, but it's going to be 4th and very, very long for the Cougars. Wow, you know, he turned the corner, Gerdine did, and he was going to try and cut back and go the opposite way, and he had 3 Dragons right in his face.
I don't think he heard the linebacker that was bearing down on him from behind, and that affected his game plan drastically at that point in time.
Yeah, it certainly did, and Coach Harris is looking at Gerdine saying, hey, we need to go north and south, and that happens sometimes. We got a new punter in the game, and he kicked a nice little punt to number 7 as he's taking the ball back, and our defensive strategy on kick returns is a little bit to be desired tonight as Chase Hendricks actually takes the ball.
It's nice to see.
It is.
Get a contingency plan going, you know, develop the foundation for the next string.
Well, you know, it's not necessarily easy to come off the field cold or actually come onto the field cold, not warming up a whole lot, as Mitchell is still getting attended to on the sidelines with some cramping going on. And you had the freshman come in, and he had a nice punt. That's good to see.
You know, I was just looking through some of the statistics, the season statistics for the Cougars. I was interested this week, and I couldn't find an accurate line anywhere online. But Gerdine, his QB rating, I wondered after last week, 149.548. I think that's pretty close to perfect, isn't it?
It is pretty close to perfect.
That's not a bad line for a 15-year-old kid to have out there, 16.
I tell you, he is impressive for a young man, and he's, as we said so many times, he's only going to get better. As Roberts gets to pitch to the outside, he's got room to go, and he cuts it back and gets tackled from John McCaleb.
You know, you talked about his size earlier, 5'7", 135. I mean, it's not the 5'7", that's been shown that that's not maybe necessarily as big of a deal as a lot of people would circle. You know, Russell Wilson's only 5'9", and he's been in the NFL now, 10, 11 seasons. That 135, though, I would venture to say that over the next 24 months, that number will go north pretty quick.
Yeah, I would agree on that. Stay nimble, stay quick, and stay flexible as you continue to grow there. And you're talking about Russell Wilson. How do you like going to the Denver Broncos? And the very first game you play for the Denver Broncos is away
in Seattle
against your old team.
Yeah, that was just a coincidence that booking happened, right?
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Just like it's a coincidence that Deshaun Watson's first game back is against the Houston Texans.
Yep.
Strange how that all works out, you know.
In baseball, they call that old Abner does it again, right?
Yes.
And I don't know what they call it in football.
Well, we got another Cougar down out there.
So with 4:56 left in the third quarter, we got a stoppage in play with some cramping again. Cougars are down by 2 scores at least, 35-20. They have to at least get a 2-point conversion to tie if they have 2 scores.
Student section came out in full force tonight. There seems to be a hubbub going on down there tonight. So they've got their, I believe, hula attire. I saw some grass skirts and some flower necklaces floating around. They've got the spirit tonight for the Cougars. A lot of white shirts down there. They came out with Cougar colors too. So.
White out.
Yeah. It's not quite the same effect as possibly Penn State, but, you know, close.
Yeah,
St. Charles version. We're a long way from Happy Valley.
So you got any more sponsorships over there that we can talk about?
Do I have sponsors? Of course I've got sponsors. Let's see. Maybe we go down here. How about Chris and Jill Gersner, Dr. Dick and Marcia Craven, David and Michelle Reed, Dustin and Lacey Flassig. Let's see. Jump around a little bit. Matt and Lisa Kuzman, Tom and Joe and Jen Cuneo, Greg and Lori Lorenz. I think I heard that one earlier in the season, but Greg's my left fielder there for the church softball team, so I got to give him a little shout out.
Nice. Is that slow pitch softball on Tuesday nights?
That is slow pitch on Tuesday nights, and if you have not seen Greg Lorenz throw a ball, you are missing out. That guy from the warning track to home plate, just on a laser.
Well, yeah, but the issue is at CNH with the field closest to the road, it's only 2 feet.
Yeah, it's not far. It looks further some nights, depending on what time the game was, too.
Well, if it's 9:30 start time at night, you get a heavy haze over that field, and the ball gets wet, the outfield gets wet, and it's hard to grip it.
Yep.
I speak from experience.
Yes. My station in right center, I've slipped a couple of times trying to get a beat on one.
Pass to the outside, nice little pitch and catch is another flag on the play. Number 9 actually had the reception as David Leonard threw to the outside to Donovan McIntosh.
Looks like this one might go against the Dragons. I don't know if it was lineman downfield or if 72 looked to be in the vicinity of the flag, and he's trying to explain to his teammates he didn't do anything wrong.
And that's exactly what it is. He was downfield illegally, and they're going to bring that ball back. You know, right center at CNH, there's too many potholes out there. That's not a true bounce, by the way, particularly just over to second base. I'm just saying.
Yeah, no, yeah, I've learned a couple times the hard way on how to misjudge a ball out there. Now, there have been a couple times where I've judged it pretty darn well, and I was happy about it, but, you know, I don't think it makes up for the times I didn't. So we just try to hang tough. We got a fearless leader in Joe Schmidt, you know, telling us the scouting reports.
Joe Schmidt doing the lefty slow pitch. That's a different way to do it. Wow. Oh, my, did he get thumped. Wow, number 1 went around the outside. John Roberts did. He made the corner. I can't tell who made the tackle, but I'm going to say it was Aiden who just pummeled him.
Trainer might want to hold up some fingers in front of him when he gets back to the sideline. That was a solid, stout shot.
That's not the first time we've seen Aiden do that over the course of this season, and John Roberts gets his number called again, and he gets all the way down to about the 1 yard line. They have 1st and 10 from the 1. They got something going on here.
Yeah, they've gone to the hurry up here too.
And we have another flag. Looks like somebody jumped off sides here. No, it's against the defense. Wow.
Well, the Cougars were definitely in the backfield real quick there.
I guess you go half the distance to the goal line. What is that, a football length?
Maybe not even.
Kick the ball down to the 1 yard line, remains first down.
So my guess is here they have number 1 on the left-hand side. They're going to give it to him following number 72. And there's a touchdown.
Number 72 could open up a zip code for a hole.
I think you're right. That's Aiden Bodwin, and they run that play several times tonight and line up, and they just pound the ball right behind him. And, wow, John Roberts, he just needed a yard. He did it. It's 41-20 right now, 3:51 left in the third.
Yeah, that Aiden Bogwin, 6'1", 270. That's not a small young man.
No, it's not. Pretty cool. You know, we're talking about some of the defensive statistics as well. Naden Hare so far, he's leading the team in tackles. He's got 26 tackles, 16 assists, 42 total tackles that he's been involved in. One of them's been for a loss, and 2 sacks and a pick as well. He's all over the field doing that.
It really is. I mean, I think we all know his proficiency in the running game, and, you know, even though the name gets called, it maybe not sticks out, the amount of effort he puts on the defensive side of the ball as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Extra points good. It is 42-20 now. 3:51 left in the third quarter. You know, this third quarter seems like it's going by fairly slowly.
Yeah, fairly slow. I spent a week there one night up in the booth.
Mm-hmm.
It's the cramping's definitely become a large factor in this third quarter, and hopefully as the night air starts to cool down a little bit, it can help our Cougars stay up on their feet. Definitely need an answer though here. Can't let another possession go by without some more points on the board if you're the Cougars.
Yeah, no doubt. And the Dragons going to be kicking off again. You know, Schillinger, excuse me, he's got a good leg on him, and he's been putting the ball deep, and his extra points have been right on, spot on this whole game. It's nice to be able to see a young man come in and have an accurate leg at the same time. And he does a little pooch kick. Once again, it's going to go out of bounds, and it looks like a flag's going to be thrown. They do not want to test our deep guys. There's no doubt.
No longer.
Kickoff goes out of bounds.
Where does that Missouri High School, it's at the 35-yard line is where the ball comes out to? On an out-of-bounds kick?
You know,
I'm not sure. So
I talk about it once they put the football down.
That's one of those pro commentator tips you're giving me as stepping in here tonight on my first time.
That's exactly right. So the Cougars get the ball back at their own 35-yard line.
even a broken clock's right twice a day. So
there you go. Nothing wrong with that. 1st and 10 from their own 35. Gerdine is up under center this time. Usually he's in the shotgun. He takes the snap here and pitches the ball to the outside. Looks like trying to get to the corner and did not quite make the corner. So we're going to get to maybe the line of scrimmage as Mitchell takes the handoff and gets tackled pretty quickly.
That was hard fought, but nowhere to go.
Turner in the stands. Dylan Turner, will you please come up to the
You know, just looking at the scores from around the country, baseball, I just looked at a college football score that I was kind of interested in. We've got Florida State and Louisville going tonight.
Oh, wow.
Tied in the fourth quarter.
Is it really?
You would not have guessed that out of Florida State after last week. You would have thought they would have come out firing, and they've played some tough teams, but Louisville, they're at home tonight, and you just never know what can happen in one of those mid-major teams.
I agree. I like the parity in football. Oh my. Oh my. Gerdine just took a smack to the helmet. I'm surprised they didn't throw a flag on that. That was just, and he ended up fumbling the ball, and the Dragons ended up getting it back. That was helmet to helmet. That was hard.
Yeah, that you could hear that pop up here, and I sure hope he's all right. I can't believe that they didn't see that. Maybe they did. They've got a meeting going on here right around the 50-yard line.
And there comes the flag.
That was a pretty good shot, and I sure hope that Mikey's feeling okay.
Far into the stadium, and here just recently, right around the 30-yard line, they'll probably come in and get some Gatorade, be my guess.
Yeah, they haven't ruled anything yet. The Dragons are trying to trot the offense out there, and I'm not so sure if that's going to be the case here or what's going to happen. You know, I mean, Gerdine had that ball until the helmet-to-helmet contact, and that's what spun it loose there. It'll be interesting to see how this call goes.
Yeah, agreed. You know, a long time ago, that had just been a fair play, and you get hit left and right all the time in football, helmet to helmet, and I love the safety protocols that they put in place and allowing these kids to be safe, and of course also at the collegiate level and the NFL level. They have so much going on. Yeah, they had targeting with the helmet. It's going to be first down Cougars here. No fumble on the play. The penalty ends up allowing the Cougars to retain possession here. They're going to have the ball on the 47-yard line, it looks like right now. And
well, now they're going back to the 39, so maybe they got to march it off yet, yep, he's going to start his march.
You know, with some of that stuff at the
15-yarder.
Yeah, that's exactly right. The NFL and CTS and things of that nature, and finding brain injuries many, many years later. They needed to do something, and I'm glad they're being proactive about that.
Well, that's at the end of the day, I mean, as much as we all enjoy watching, the boys come out here and play, it is still just a game, and they have a lot of life on the other side of that game. You don't want to see, a kid at 16, 18 years old that has to deal with the effects of an injury for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's true. But, the older you get, the more those injuries become prevalent because they hurt. As Mitchell takes the ball up to the right-hand side, gains 6 yards. He's down around the 40-yard line. He's running hard tonight. I know he's been giving all kinds of blood, sweat, and tears out there. He's been cramping up, but he's like, hey, give me the ball. I want to play, Coach.
I didn't even have any of those traumatic injuries, to my brain, and sometimes I'm forgetful. Once you get north of 40, I think that's just natural, isn't it?
Yeah, wait till you get north of another decade and then some. Well, just saying.
I look forward to it.
Here we are, 2nd and 5 right now. We got trips to the near side. We have, looks like Kayla Mays out there on the far side, receiver and had the center fielder out there, if you will, ready to catch that as Mr. Boyd was out there ready to pick that one off.
You had Mays coming in towards the post there, and he looked pretty open. I think Gerdine looked that way first, checked it down, and had he gone back, I think we might have had some pretty good open field in front of him. Again, starting your 4th game.
Well said, partner, well said. Lined up exactly the same way. We'll see if we have a runner in motion or a receiver in motion. Gerdine takes a snap and nice little draw play. A little too anxious and overthrows that one. Aiden Harris had a little bit of room in front of him on that one.
Brings up 4th down.
Well, with the ball at the 41, this is kind of one of those coin flips in high school on a 4th and 5. Do we punt it and risk the touchback, or do we see if we can go for it? It looks like Mikey's staying out there.
Yeah, I like to call on this. Let's stay out there. Let's play some football. Not that punting's not football, but you may pick up a couple 20 yards or so. Get out there and let's play. Let's see what we can do. 5 yards to go for a 1st down. You got Gerdine all the way back from the shotgun. You have Aiden Harris off to his left side. We got one-on-one on the near side. Ooh, nice little slant route, but he had to get rid of the ball very, very quickly there and just didn't connect with Mitchell on the outside.
Play call. Just needed a split second longer to let it develop.
Yeah, absolutely. He had Tylen Horton just breathing down his neck. He was untouched as far as being blocked is concerned, and he had a free shot to quarterback, and he had to get rid of it quickly.
Well, so we turn over on downs, and they're going to take it at their own 41, I believe, if that was right. And hopefully we can get a stop. Down 3 scores plus an extra one. We need everything we can get.
Yeah, we got 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. It's been a cramping quarter, but we're okay.
Yeah. I walked it off. I'm all right.
Yeah, we talked it off, so there we go. And here we go, St. Mary's. Shotgun, hands the ball off. Wow, number 1 just takes it right up the middle. John Roberts Jr., we've called his name a lot tonight, and, it's interesting. I think what they try and do is run that ball right up the middle, lull us to sleep, to have us collapse, and then give it to number 20, let him do the hard work on the outside. But we'll see what happens here.
Yeah, it's the tale of 2 Roberts. One goes north-south, and the other one can cut it outside in a hurry and hurt you that way. Aiden Harrison on that stop again, though,
And look who we have up here. She's been on the radio with us or on the broadcast many, many times. Mrs. Kathy Chapin, how you doing, hon?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It is so good to be here and to see the excitement of this crowd, and not the outcome we were looking for, but certainly the effort from the Cougars is so fun to see. Crowd is awesome. Great support from all the fans and cheerleaders, and what a great night.
Tackled by 7, Jamar.
It's good to see you.
Touchdown, St. Mary's.
That's a nice visit to the booth that you'll never turn down.
That is true. Kathy and a lot of the teams that she had coached over the years were honored here this evening. Kathy, how many championships you win?
So we won one state final championship and 3 second-place finishes.
Wow.
So as she was saying, for those who may not have heard, they won in volleyball, one state championship.
To win.
That's good to hear. Very good to hear. And as the third quarter winds down, the Dragons are knocking on the door. They have the eye back here. He's going to get the handoff, go right behind number 72. And guess what? Touchdown?
Touchdown,
Number 20, Mr. Roberts.
Roberts are killing us tonight. They've definitely got their A game on, and they're pounding it in that end zone with the rushing yards.
No doubt at the beginning of the ball game, we were looking, Doug and I were, and we saw some of the linemen that they had and said, this is going to be a tough one. They can open up some holes. Schillinger's ready to attempt the point after. He's been perfect so far, and we got a little bit of a stoppage on the play. Play clock is rolling. At least they're trying to tell it with 44.3 seconds left here in the third quarter. 48-20. Dragons are on top of the hometown Cougars. And the snap is coming. It is there. The kick is up, and it looks good. 49-20. Dragons are starting to run away with this one.
Yeah, looking at some of these statistics from the other side of the field here coming into the game, after only 3 games, Jamal Roberts, 431 yards of rushing after 3 games. That's prolific. And John Roberts Jr. not far behind with 241. That's quite the tandem in the backfield to rely on.
Yeah, no doubt about that. You know, that average per carry's got to be up there. I can't do the math real quick. Maybe you can.
Jamal's at just a hair under 14 and John at 11.5. But they're definitely, that's a nice luxury for St. Mary's to have in their backfield.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we have another Cougar Nation. Wow. Can you get up there, buddy?
Future Cougar right here.
We have a future Cougar in the booth, and he, I think, is just itching to get on air.
You want to introduce yourself? Okay, to Cougar Nation. Let's give a shout out.
Hi,
Go ahead. What's your name?
Cody.
Cody?
Cody what?
Cody Chiefman.
Cody, how old are you?
8.
8. So you got a little ways to go until you're a Cougar then.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be here before you know it.
Mhm.
As the dad to a 7-year-old, I'm learning that days are long but years are short.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love how Cody agreed with that. It's a 2-way street, he says. Cody, what's your favorite subject in school?
Art.
We're getting some photo ops.
Okay, say it again. Say art.
Cody, what's your favorite subject in school?
Art.
Art? Nice. My daughter likes that a lot. Which school do you go to?
Trinity.
Trinity.
Trinity Lutheran.
Trinity Lutheran.
Orchard Farm.
Nice. I have not been to that school yet, but I'm sure I will.
Yep, come on out.
We're-
Anytime.
With all the activities that they have across the Lutheran elementary school system and middle schools, I'm sure that my days of touring Lutheran schools is far from over in this county.
There you go.
My-
Yep, I'm the principal.
Oh, nice. Yes.
Anytime.
I just got the approval from the principal, so I'm
That's right.
definitely in now. This is good. I know people in high places. Yeah, my daughter is actually a 2nd grader over at Zion, so you guys are similar ages.
That's right. Go Bobcats. We'll give a shout out to the Bobcats.
The Bobcats.
Yeah.
Are the Bobcats that
Yep, Zoe and Brody. And
Friends with him because of my son at some point down the road. He's only 3 right now, but my son's got that.
I know how you feel. Cody's made me.
what? It's the end of the 3rd quarter.
Yep, 1 quarter to go.
Can you tell them the score? 20-49.
We got a 49-20 game. The Cougars are trailing going into the 4th here behind St. Mary's, but Cody's helping me out. Cody, what what are you into outside of school? You got any special activities outside of school? You playing any sports or any hobbies?
No.
No. No hobbies?
Oh, I play the piano.
Oh, you play the piano? That's really cool. That's a hobby that not a lot of people do, but I tell you what, when you see somebody that can do it well as an adult, it's a stunning thing, man. Everybody stops and goes, "Oh, look at that." Right. I would say stick with that one. That's
good for the brain.
Yep. It's good for a lot of things, finger dexterity, and yeah, that is good. And it's one of those talents that as you get older, you charm some people with that. So.
That's right.
So you can sing us a song. You're the piano man.
I have to sing one?
Billy Joel?
Nuh-uh. Nope.
We'll spare him.
We got another shout out coming in. Come on, Cougars, play to win. You've got this. Let's go, Kaylin LeGrant, number 17, from your grandmom, Georgia, and your Washington, D.C. family. Let's go, Cougars. All the way from Washington, D.C., the nation's capital.
Yeah.
It's truly a national event.
Yeah.
Pass complete to number 23, Kayla Mays.
Thanks.
Tackle play by number 28, Sadie Meyer. There's a flag on the play.
Caleb Mays with a slight gain there if you're watching at home, but there is a flag on the play. Looks like it's coming back for potential hold. It's good to have Cody stop up here and your wife. This is nice. It really is a family affair.
Well, it is. I've known Kathy for many, many, many years. Her and her husband Dave are great friends, and she has a huge leadership opportunity at Trinity Lutheran, and they continue to pour their hearts into that school. They support a lot of ministry overseas. They just do a great job. Bottom line.
Well, it's such a neat privilege to be able to be an alum and then coach and then see my junior Cougar kids coming up the ranks. So.
Yeah, that's so as we were saying earlier, my children will be first generation through the Lutheran School District here and anywhere for that matter. I think it might be the first generation in my family to ever go to a private school system. So we're learning kind of on the fly, and one thing that really impresses us, not only the being Christ-centered and morals and values being taught at an early age, but also the amount of family activity and involvement top to bottom with everybody. It's not, you don't see many parents that are hands-off in the St. Charles Lutheran School System, and that's great to see. And as somebody that doesn't have family close by, all of our family, extended family is abroad. That's a nice support system to have.
That's awesome to hear because we want to keep that spirit up and keep reaching out.
Oh, Gerdine has the pass as he dropped back. He had trips to the near side, and it gets picked off. And the Dragons are starting to run away with this one a bit.
Yeah, that defender was hiding behind the ump there, I think, and popped out just in time to make a real clean interception. And the
Dragons are going to take over in deep territory of the Cougars. They're going to take over at the 44-yard line, 43-yard line, actually. It's going to be 1st and 10. They're just using their big prowess, the heavyweight fight, if you will, and they're taking it to us right now. Good-looking team for certain. We're talking about slow pitch softball and such. Her husband, David, is like Hall of Famer in slow pitch softball. Not really, but close to it. He's put a few of them out onto the road at CNH, let's just say that.
I might need some tips from him then.
Well, he's got everybody to beat. He's going to beat them, and St. Mary's with the touchdown.
Touchdown, Dragons.
That might about be a night for John Roberts Jr. He's put in his fair share of the workload this evening.
Yeah, no doubt. As we said, that's a north and south runner for the Dragons, and he finds the hole, and if he gets some space, he's gone.
And it's not a small body. I mean, he definitely knows how to turn it upfield in a hurry.
Well, 6'2", 218 senior.
Yeah. I mean, he puts I don't know. I could be out on a limb here. I would say he's getting some looks from some people for that next level of playing. That is the one thing, looking out at the field tonight, there are more than just a couple of people that are probably going to be playing at the next level next year on Saturdays.
Yeah,
so.
There's no doubt. As Schillinger makes the extra point attempt, it is now 56-20 with 11:32 left. That's 35 points at least, right?
That is 35 at least.
So I think we're going to start to have a running clock, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody fact check me on that, but I think we're going to have a running clock going.
Fact checker says thumbs up, so there we go.
That's our director of sports technology, Brent Gossett, back there. He tells us that we're losing by 35. The clock's going to run on us. You don't see that very often from a Lutheran High Cougar football team, but I'm telling you, St. Mary's is a real deal. Whether they're on Class 3 or Class 4, whomever they're going to play, they're going to be a tough opponent.
I would venture to say that their season's still got a ways to go. With the way they're playing tonight, I don't think they're going to be a pushover in 4A either.
They will not be a pushover. Their next few games after us, they go to Duchesne goes to them to play, and then they will go out to St. Dominic, who we beat last week 45-3, and then they play DeSmet at home. They go to Louisville Trinity in Kentucky, and then they also finish up at Lutheran North on October 21st. And here we go. We have the kick return all the way back out to the 39-40-yard line. We had number 18 as Riley Vanderpool takes that ball back. Earlier in the game they did that same type of a play, and he took it to the house. How cool.
With one shoe.
That is pretty cool. We just have to call him Shoeless Joe Vanderpool. How's that?
That's a longer name than his original one, but we can go with it. It's memorable.
Cougars take over at the 39-yard line.
Yeah, I might have to talk to your husband on some softball tips here. I used to be a little bit bigger. I had about another 30 pounds on me there playing for a while, and I used to get pretty good, to the fence. And these last couple of years, I kind of dwindled in mass, and now my job's just to get on base and run like crazy. Joe just says, just get on base, Caleb. That's all you got to worry about.
Gerdine takes a snap, hands it off to Aiden Harris, who's bouncing around to the outside, puts his head down, and he's close to a first down. That was a good run.
That was good patience by Aiden to let the blockers get set and the play to develop in front of him.
What I like to see here, Caleb, is the fact that the Cougars have not given up. They look tired, don't get me wrong, but they're still playing tough, even though they're down by 36 points right now.
Well, the work starts tomorrow, right? So they'll go back, they'll look at the film, they'll start preparing for next week's game, and it'll be the tale of tonight will be told next Friday night to see how they bounce back from this.
No doubt. Gerdine takes a snap. He rolls to the outside, throws it up to the outside flats, and underthrew the intended receiver. Michael Parr Jr. was the intended receiver. And incomplete pass. It's going to be 2nd and 4. You're talking about next week, Caleb. The Cougars, they actually go to Cardinal Ritter. They play there. And then the following week on September 30th, they'll go to Columbia and play Rockbridge. And then they come back home on the 7th, play Borgia, and they play a tough Lutheran North the following week, and they end their season at home against Chaminade on the 21st of October.
There's a lot of opportunities to toughen up for sure, but I was going to say, after the first 3 games on paper, I really didn't know that we would be 3-0, and I don't think I'd be in the minority there. I think a lot of people realistically said, hey, we could be, 2-1. We might be on the other side of 1-2. To come into tonight 3-0 was a great sign of the resiliency. Up until halftime on week 1, it looked like, the Cougars were going to have a tough night there in Denver, and they were able to turn it around at halftime and really steamroll into week 2 and 3 with that momentum. Tonight we've met a pretty big physical team, and we just got to take the lumps, learn from it, and carry on to next week.
Yeah, absolutely. And Aiden Harris just took that last handoff, ended up giving the Cougars first down. They're all the way onto the Dragon territory at the 49 yards. Low snap. It takes the cadence off of Gerdine, and he's dancing and getting around, and he's just trying to stay on his feet. And there's a whole host of, I think everybody is in on this play.
That's a rugby scrum if I've ever seen one.
That's exactly right. And young Gerdine, Mikey took it all the way down. Looks like he got 7 yards on that. It's pretty cool to see.
He shuffled and shimmied, and I thought a backfield tackle was in the midst there, but he turned into 7.
So with the clock running, 8:24 left in this ball game, Dragons are up 56-20 over your hometown Cougars. They continue to play a hard game. They have single receivers on both sides, 2 running backs, tight end, and the snap. Wow, that was an interesting play right there.
Just short of the first down possibly, but that was, I don't even know what that was. I mean, they need an instant replay on that.
Gerdine took the snap and kind of bobbled it a little bit, went around his back and missed his back, his running back that is, and followed him into a hole and picked up several yards. It's going to be 3rd and short right now. And they'll be taking the snap from the 40-yard line with 7:41 left in the game.
That was a Harlem Globetrotters type snap. You know what? Still a pretty good chunk of the crowd hanging on here to support the Cougars, though. Definitely some diehards here to make sure that the Cougars know at the end of regulation that everybody's still behind them.
Yeah, absolutely. A little trickery there. Took the jet sweep around the corner, but did not make the corner as number 2 blew that play up. Shot out. GB, as I said before, Gabe Booker. Wow, nice play by Gabe. Tackle was actually made by 44 Perkins, but it was Gabe Booker who actually blew that play up. He was taking on a blocker over there and got off of his blocker and was able to disrupt that play for his teammate to come in and clean it up. But, boy, that was a heck of a play by Gabe.
That one was powered by that South Carolina barbecue.
Oh, yeah.
Going for it here on 4th and 7. Don't have a lot to lose at this point in the night.
And the snap's coming to Gerdine, who's in the shotgun. He's looking right. He's getting flushed out of the pocket. Looks like ended up having a reception. 1st down. We're going to move the chains. Boy, that was nice.
That was a nice pass to Michael Parr, Jr. there.
Yeah, it was tricky over there, Caleb. He was close to the sideline. Was able to keep his feet in and make that catch. As they move the chains, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Cougars at 37-yard line. 6 minutes straight up left in this ball game with the running clock as the Cougars are getting their play called in.
Yeah, it was hard to see if the feet were in bounds. We didn't get the luxury of our 4K instant replay up here in the booth to see, but he made a great catch over there for the 1st down to keep the chains moving.
Gerdine under center right now, trips to the far side, and the handoff goes to Aiden Harris. He's just pounding his way up front, and he gets met by a host of Dragons after he gains 4 yards.
Aiden getting some more yards on that stat line after a hard effort tonight on both sides of the ball. It's far from cleanup time, though, and St. Mary's is letting us know that. They're not giving anything up.
No, there's no reason for them to give anything up as Aiden Harris continues to pound hard, if you will, and you know he's done some pretty good, had some pretty good yards throughout this season so far. It's fun to watch him run.
He's learned a couple things along the way. You know, it helps when you have such a solid mentor and coach in your father to help out.
Yeah, no doubt. His father playing for the Rams. We have a couple coaches. We also have Coach Rubio, who played for the Cardinals as a sack happened there. Number 17 just blew off the line for the Dragons, and Tylen Horton. Big loss all the way back to the 45-yard line. You know, Gerdine had nowhere to go on that one.
Yeah, that's going to push us back pretty hard on probably about a 3rd and 20, 3rd and 18.
3rd and very, very long. You know, we're talking about Aiden Harris before. He's 329 yards overall coming in on rushing to this game tonight. And, of course, Alan Mitchell's right there with him. They share a lot of the snaps in ball games. Alan Mitchell has 309 yards. And as I say that, Mitchell gets the ball. He's going to the outside, gets pushed out, and ended up picking about 8 yards up, maybe a little bit more to get back to third and actually fourth and about 11.
That was a nice hole around the end that he was able to take advantage of to get that pickup. Got, what, 7 or 8 back on that play, so that lessens the hole we're in, but 4th and 11, we're still far from out of danger.
So Lutheran High comes to the line once again. Looks like they are setting up for a passing formation, but we shall see. They also have Aiden Harris in the background, or in the backfield, and Gerdine is trying to go to the outside, and they're just too quick, and we end up having a flag on the play as he gets sacked.
We've got, I'm wondering if that was a face mask. They were away from us, and
Number 50,
Adrian Atkinson was in on that sack, and I think this one's going to be brought back.
Atkinson's coaches are giving him an earful to teach him how to do it better next time, but you don't like to see that happen. Those mental lapses, especially late in the game. That's what drives coaches crazy going into Saturday morning at the high school level.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And looks like they're going to bring the ball all the way down to the 34-yard line. It's going to be 4th down again for the Cougars as they call timeout to regroup and take a little bit of a breather before they get back out there. And this game's all but done. You know, I never liked that when you had announcers call a football game or a baseball game before it's over, but
it would take a pretty monumental turnaround with 2:54 to go to overcome a 35-point deficit. I won't say it can't be done. It just would be extremely difficult.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And, you know, I got to say, can't. My dad used to always teach me. He's been gone now for a long, long time, but my dad taught me, can't means you don't want to.
What do they call those buzzwords or no-no words, like, you know, don't and can't? And one that I hear a lot is when somebody will send you an email or something, I just wanted to stop or drop you a message. Don't say just. There was nothing just about the message. Just, please be direct. Oh, a little off target there.
A bit off target as Caleb Mays was looking around trying to say, hey, that guy was holding me the whole time. So the Dragons take over on downs. They're going to be 1st and 10 from their own 34-yard line. 56-20, Dragons are up over the Cougars. Cougars are in unfamiliar territory here with being on the other side of the scoreboard here. 2:48 left in this ball game. As soon as St. Mary's comes out, the clock is going to start on the snap, and I'm certain they're just going to let this clock run down a bit. Looks like they have additional personnel out there that may not have been out there during the full game here. New personnel, actually, and we'll see what they have in store.
You know, Mizzou's got the early game tomorrow against Abilene Christian. Hopefully they can get back on the winning side of things too here.
Yeah, I would agree on that as number 11 takes the handoff to Deshaun Stevenson. He tries to get to the corner, couldn't quite do it, gets pushed out of bounds, loses about 6 yards. It's going to be 2nd and a ways to go. Keelan LeGrand in on the tackle as he pushed him out of bounds.
Continuous clock ticking down to 2:20.
8-yard loss in play. Brings up 2nd and 18.
2nd down and 18 for the Dragons as they're pushed all the way back to their own 21-yard line. Hand off to the back, and he just gets met by a whole host of Cougars. Kind of like that tenacity. As a new quarterback, Phoenix Isaiah is in, he hands the ball off to the young man who just couldn't go anywhere.
Yeah. Am I reading that right? Is he a senior? Phoenix?
Phoenix is a freshman. 5'11", 185 quarterback.
He's got the build for it. He's seeing the field as a freshman. That's a good foundation St. Mary's is putting in place, too.
Yeah, absolutely. As an update in the St. Louis score, they are up 6-5 over Cincinnati as Arenado hit a double and ended up getting an RBI as Goldschmidt scored on that double. As Deshaun Stevenson once again gets the ball, goes to the outside, gains a considerable amount of field position there, but short of the first down. It's going to be fourth and a long way to go, and it looks like the